your homes for just 10 grand. Yes, $50,000 of added luxury in your new dream home. The Metricon More Love Celebration. On now. Eligible Studio M upgrades. Conditions apply. CDBU 52967.
Betfair is on your side when betting on tennis. You'll find better odds by betting punter versus punter and avoiding bookie margins. Experience the Betfair difference. Download the Betfair app today. You win some, you lose more.
Breakfast on SEN.
Yeah, I've had a really fun week. Gary and Tim back with you tomorrow. If you've missed any of our show, you can catch up on the podcast. Paul Marsh and Tony Clark live in the studio. Excellent. Simon Kadich on all things cricket. Brett Phillips wrapped up day, whatever it is, of the Australian Open. And Demonor storming through to the third round. And moments ago, Dad told, I thought, a pretty good story about Tony Modra wanting to quit and then a couple of days later coming out and kicking 13 on the fullback of the century. Phil Davis has been enormous. Phil, thank you, mate. It's been really fun.
No, it's been good, Kane. Thank you for that. It was a nice experience. I've nailed the early morning wake-ups. Not as early as yours over there in South Australia, but it's been really enjoyable. But good to have my seat taken by a pro again tomorrow.
And you've enjoyed the temper text? You've enjoyed the feedback?
It's been very enjoyable and enlightening. It's nice to see the other side of the temper text.
We thank our friends at Kubota. We're powered by them. Take on any job with Kubota's mowers, tractors and Land Pride attachments. Stay tuned for SEN's coverage of the cricket, the Australian Open later tonight. It is your home of sport.
Thanks, Colin.
Henley Mortgage Fund. $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket.
And wider on the crease, and a ball edging and caught! Oh, brilliant! Cameron Green, welcome back! In the gully. Cummins again. Bowls this one. Bowls him! Straight through the captain. Athenay's on strike here. Oh, that ball! He's let it go and it's crashed into the off stump. Athenays cannot believe it. Hazelwood again over the wicket, bowling to Hodge. Edging and Freed's got it again. In the gully. This time to his left. Hazelwood again. Wider on the crease. Bowls edging. Gone. Mackenzie's out.
Smith on strike and he pulls this one and pulls it impressively. Crowd loving it. He's loving it. 4 runs off the middle of the bat.
Roach bowls to Kawaja. Drives stylishly through the covers. That's one of the best shots we've seen so far from Kawaja. That'll reach the rope.
Yeah, pretty happy. I think choosing to bowl first, we probably thought the wicket was going to do the most this morning with the new ball, so flattened out a little bit once the ball got softer. So that's probably the key for us, is getting through the next 15, 20 overs and then cashing in, I think, taking it deep with the bat.
Australia got the job done with the ball after sending the West Indies in and will today look to build a winning position with the bat. Josh Hazelwood joins us after becoming the latest member of the 250 wicket club.
Joseph, the man on strike, Roach at the non-striker's end, Hazelwood in, and he does with this over mid-wicket.
He's in. And this one hits, pulled high and high enough to be 6 over mid-wicket. Amazing. I'm sure Joseph, your man, is with the ball in hand.
Exciting moment for Sharma Joseph. His family's into the logging business. That's the only thing you can do in Barakara, where he comes from, and he sees his life flash before his eyes and he says, no, I need to do something better in life. Here he is making his Test debut 2 years later.
And he's bowling to Steve Smith of all people. And the way he batted, you just get the feel he'll take a wicket tonight. Then he comes to Steve Smith. Edge! Oh! No way! He's out first. Ball is bowled. Unbelievable. Gets a wicket. With the first delivery, he's bowled to Steve Smith, one of the greats of all time. You can't write the script like that, surely.
Oh, well, I had a few conversations with the boys in the dressing room. I told them that I would get a wicket on my first ball, but I didn't know it was Steve Smith. So I think that went well for me. So I went with a positive mindset.
West Indies debutant Shamar Joseph lit it up with the bat and the ball, allowing the tail to wag before spoiling Steve Smith's coronation as Australia's new opener with his first ball in Test cricket. Can he start Australia's push for the upper hand?
Yeah, look, I think that's been a wake-up call for everyone. Throughout the whole period that the Big Bash has been around, we've always prioritised international cricket, always prioritised Test cricket, and we will always do that. But I think this has shone a light.
And Cricket Australia CEO Nick Hockley joins us to discuss the big issues in cricket. This is day 2 of the first test on SEN Test Cricket.
Live across Australia and around the world. Welcome to SEN Test Cricket.
Fantastic to have your company wherever you might be listening to SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and for Henley Homes. Build with confidence. Day 2 of the first test between Australia and the West Indies will get underway shortly under overcast skies. It's a little cooler today in Adelaide, 23-odd degrees. Cloud above, hoping it'll clear a little later. A couple of hot days forecast for the next 2 days, though, heading into the 30s in the next couple of days. So looking forward to a long test, hopefully 4 to 5 days, maybe, depending on what happens today and how the West Indies fare in their second innings. But they gave us some surprises yesterday. Australia didn't have it all their own way. Australia winning the toss yesterday, if you're unaware, sent the West Indies in. They were all out for 188. Looked like being wrapped up for about 140 at one stage, but a 55-run last wicket stand got them to 188. And the Aussies, in reply, didn't have it their own way either. 2 for 59 when day 2 begins. Cam Green not out 6, Usman Khawaja not out 30, the 2 men that are back in the pavilion. Steve Smith out for 12 and Marnus Labuschagne for 10. Simon Kadich and Damien Fleming are our experts for in-place living, specialist disability accommodation designed for you. Always great to see the smiling faces on a couple of our experts to start a day, and with the excitement and anticipation that the cricket brings and the stories that the night before bring. Welcome to you.
Dwayno, Simo, listeners. I popped out the back last night. It was good. Good. This is what the Adelaide Day Test provides, is there's thousands of people
fourth session.
at the back.
You have to get to the fourth session after the first
fourth
three.
Session, numerous ex-Victorian district cricketers from Adelaide, celebrities. Simon Kadich didn't get down there, but he's been promoted tonight. And the day itself, it wasn't the most exhilarating day's play. 247 runs, a bit old school for 12 wickets. Some individual highlights. I thought Cummins grabbing the ball, the captain, and getting wickets. Hazelwood unreal, but Shamar Joseph, great to hear from him as well. It'll be a test, I think, this first session, though, Caddo. Can they back up with the ball? They don't need, with this older Kookaburra ball, just for everything to flatten out in Australia, just go through their grooves. But, no, I was totally engaged yesterday.
Good morning, guys. I thought it was a fantastic day's play. Thought great crowd at 26,000. Just goes to show how good the South Australian public are here in supporting, sporting events and stuff like that. So, first day test for a while, and we saw some great cricket. And I think the headline for me was young Shamar Joseph calling it too, saying he was going to tell his teammates in the rooms that he's going to get a wicket on his first ball, and then to make it Steve Smith, first time he's opening the batting for Australia, and it was a brilliant catch too by Graves diving across at slip. So I thought he stole the show, and he was very good with the bat too, getting them to probably a respectable score, 188 from where they were at, but you'd expect that it should be below par, and Australia should be able to try and get to 300 today.
He won't be batting number 11 now on in this West Indies team, and it's sort of it's a positive negative. So talking to Ian Bishop, just with this sprightly start to his career, and you tap on his batting, it's got T20 cricket all over it, hasn't it? He's already been signed up by Guyana. I hope he wants to play as much Test cricket as possible around his T20 cricket.
And that's going to be the next hurdle for cricket in general. Nick Hockley's going to join us a little bit later on, the CEO of Cricket Australia, but how the money that Test cricket or cricket in general around the world has, how much they filter into the countries who need it, filtered into them to make them want to play the cricket that everybody grew up with, but is starting to die a little because scheduling demands that the money says T20 is going to be the dominant form of cricket for the rest of our days. But, we don't want Test cricket to die. And we don't want... yesterday, you guys both touched on it, but you've seen a lot of cricket, you've played a lot of cricket. Sport in general, it's best when the stuff that happens you can't predict. It's stuff that you've seen it all before, but you haven't seen that. And that was the beauty of yesterday. There was some things happening yesterday that made you think, wow, that's the wow factor in coming along to a test match is still there.
Yeah, I mean, you love seeing your heroes dominate. You know, Pat Cummins would be such a popular fan with the Australian public, and he delivered. But we love the surprises like you're talking about, like Jamal, for me. He was much watch TV or listen on the radio, wasn't he? He just dominated with bat and ball out of the blue. So you're going, gee, they've found a cricketer there. Geez, Mackenzie's driving the full face of the bat. You must have been really impressed, Caddo. And it just come off his bat. He seemed to have a lot of time. And just the problem yesterday, they had 2 or 3 partnerships where they didn't look flustered, and then they just lost a wicket. It just shows that, it's a team game, and if you can get like a 100-run partnership and then a 50, you're getting into those low 200s and you're in the game there. But, Mackenzie and Shamar Joseph for the West Indies, the problem with their batting, in particular Mackenzie, is the Australians have had a look at him now. So, they're such an experienced, great bowling lineup. It's not going to get any easier for him, but hopefully takes a lot of confidence out of that 50.
Yeah, no, there was some good signs for the West Indies yesterday. I thought the way they got through the first probably 20 minutes, half an hour, that was challenging. And then they didn't kick on. Craig Brathwaite is a good leader, and he will try and dig in and get big first innings totals, but he got knocked over by a good ball from Pat Cummins. And I think that's the challenge for any international batsman that comes to these shores, is that this attack is so well-rounded, it's so experienced, and it's so classy that you've got to be at your best, particularly with your footwork, to be able to counter it. And that's what we saw from Mackenzie yesterday. I thought his footwork was probably the best of the lot. Got to 50, but then 50's not enough against this Australian team. That has to turn into a 70, 80 plus for them to potentially get to 280, which I think if they'd got 280 in the first innings, they're probably in the test match. A lot to play out today. I mean, as you say, Flem, there's some stories today. Cameron Green's got a great opportunity. Starts the day, if he can get going, great opportunity to really cement that number 4 spot. Travis Head hasn't had a great summer so far on the back of a very good World Cup, playing in front of his home crowd. The locals here love him. Will he get going and start to put the foot down? And if he bats with Mitch Marsh for any length of time, that's going to be entertaining. So there's things that we could potentially see today that you don't always get in T20 cricket, but you do get to see, in Test cricket. Even Cameron Green's catch yesterday at Gully. Yeah. Because the fielders are pushed back on the ring and you've got fielders spread to the boundary, it can be a sterile game at times, whereas in Test cricket, there's a little bit more happening with movement and seam and attacking field positions. So hopefully Test cricket will survive all of this, but it's at a critical juncture because these T20 leagues are exploding.
So do you expect less than 300 runs yesterday for the day? Do you expect to get more than that today? Do you expect the Australians will take full toll at some stage today, if not all of them? 2 or 3 of them will get a big number?
Well, if Mitchell Marsh and Travis Head are out there for any period of time, they'll get that easy. Their natural strike rate's close to a run a ball in the last couple of years. But we just haven't seen a batsman come in and dominate. It's hard to read the pitch after one day. That there might be just always something in for the quicker bowlers. And then, obviously, Moti's got a big job to do. That first over, he bowled fast. Slow it down a little bit. Really pose some, encourage the Australian batsmen to use their feet. But, if he can bog down one end, I'd start with the quicks, but maybe that second change of bowling, Modi can just hold down one end and the quicks can attack from the other end, and that may pose some challenges for the Aussies.
Yeah, it should. I mean, this attack looks better than the one they sent out last year because they got a little bit more airspeed with Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph. It's just whether Kemar Roach and Moti can play roles in that sort of holding to not allow Australia to get going and start motoring in this innings. But I think if Australia win the first hour and don't lose a wicket or two, then I could see Australia getting 300 plus. But if they get a couple of early wickets, the West Indies will feel like they can limit the damage in this first innings.
So the decision to send them in yesterday, winning the toss, it was justified. Pat Cummins sort of justified it himself by taking those 2 early wickets when Josh Hazlewood couldn't quite find the gaps, and neither could Mitchell Starc between bat and ball to take the stumps a couple of times, even though he threatened. So we're going to have a chat to Josh Hazlewood shortly, but Pat Cummins would be pretty happy with the performance outside of the 55-run last wicket stand?
Oh, I think so. I think, apart from that last wicket partnership, and the irony with that last wicket partnership, we saw it a bit in Sydney with Jamal making all those runs when they got their lengths wrong. There was 84 balls in that partnership, and only one ball was hitting the stumps. Yeah. And that was the wicket of Joseph getting out LBW to Lyons. So there's some learning there for the attack. They've been brilliant for so long, and they're highly experienced. You know, Josh Hazlewood gets to 250 yesterday. The learning is that they've got to be better at finishing that job off. Normally, Mitchell Stark's brilliant at it, so maybe that's something that they have to reconsider their tactics of attacking the stumps more to the tail.
Consecutive innings, we saw it at England. It's actually becoming a bit of a problem, and they'll come back with the data says, well, eventually the tail ender gets out to the short ball. But as you said, the Mitchell Stark, you know, what I remember at him bowling to the tail is just nailing their nose, hitting the base of the stumps. Because it hasn't cost him so far, but it might down the track.
Well, the irony in some ways was that Shamar Joseph did get hit on the helmet, and yet he was still brave. He still loved it. Yeah. That would intimidate some. Oh yeah, that would come in late and think, no, I don't want to be out here.
They'll be backing away, showing their stumps. So then you would attack it there, but no, he just cleared that front leg and played some really good pull shots straight down the ground.
What is that? That's just the confidence of youth. What is that? In that to have that as part of your makeup as such a young kid, it's
no fear. He's playing with no fear, but also he sets up. He doesn't set up number 11. He's actually quite orthodox. He looks in a good position, clears. He's obviously got good eye-hand coordination, and he's backing his eye and his power.
I think part of it too, when we heard the backstory from Bharat yesterday about his backstory and where he's come from. This is probably all like an amazing dream for him because he's had a tough upbringing and he's doing this now for his family and he's highly motivated to make the most of it, and he's taken a huge risk to obviously go from the village he came from,
give up
350 people, give up a settled job and all that to play something, in the West Indies, which has been challenged. Test cricket's been challenged there massively in the last 10 to 20 years. So it's great to see, and hopefully he goes on and has a really long, successful career.
Josh Hazlewood slipping up the wicket tally now to the point that, he's got his 250th, but we tend to talk about the others a bit more than we talk about Josh Hazlewood, maybe because he's so metronomic and consistent, but he's getting the numbers now.
Yeah, 250 wickets and average under 26. You're generally the team spearhead over the history of Test match cricket, and you normally have just one of them in the team and you have some handy bowlers around it. Like he's one of 4 and he's got the least wickets of the 4. But it doesn't seem to worry him. I don't know Josh that well. Speak to the others a lot more. He seems pretty comfortable in his own space. I think he likes being maybe a little bit underrated. But he is just an elite fast bowler. I mean, that 4 for 16 against Pakistan in the second innings, blowing it apart, and then again today. It's just so great options. Yeah, Mitchell Stark wasn't at his best. Maybe Lino to a degree. But they've got 2 other guns that just bowl the opposition out.
Yeah, he's a silent assassin in this attack. He flies under the radar because the others, particularly Pat Cummins, is going to go down as one of our all-time greats and probably arguably will be put in the same bracket as Glenn McGrath.
Yeah,
which is, and he'd probably go past Dennis Lilly pretty soon, not only in wickets, but also just in terms of how good he is.
Just be careful what you say, right? Dennis is my idol.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just firing you up early in the day, get you going.
There'll be a lot of people.
It's what I've got to work with, Dwayne.
Send through your text.
Bloody batsman.
There'll be a lot of people listening to this. Send through your text because we do like reading your text. But that argument about where Pat Cummins is going to stand in relationship to Dennis Lilly is one that it'll carry for the next couple of years, I reckon, because there will be a lot of younger people now that didn't see Dennis Lilly play, and the amount of people that gravitated to cricket and to Dennis Lilly because he just had the aura. He had the extra button undone in the shirt. He had the necklace dangling. He had the mohair skivvy.
Had a headband. I started wearing a headband.
He just had the mannerism, the flick of the sweat with the index finger. He was aggressive as well. He liked taking on people with the ball and with a few nouns and verbs with Javed Mian down. There was just something extra about Dennis Lilly. Pat's a different person. So it's going to be, even though they're both fast bowlers, it is actually impossible to compare them in some way, isn't it?
I can't compare Pat Cummins to Dennis Lilly until he grows a mo.
Right.
He's a mo short of that. And we played a lot with Glenn McGrath, and he is right up there. But, you know, Glenn's doesn't have the charisma of what Dennis had. Paddy's got a little bit of charisma. But did you finish everything you wanted to say there, Simo, or not?
Yeah, no, look, I know it's a big call.
After denigrating Dennis earlier, did you pick everything?
I don't think I denigrate. I think I'm just talking up Pat Cummins because what we're seeing from him is he's been high class for a long period of time and he missed a lot of cricket early in his career. So he could almost be around that mark had he not missed those 5 or 6 years. But he's at the peak of his powers. And I think the other part of it is that he's doing it whilst he's captain, which is not an easy feat. You know, he's sort of, you know, almost blazing a trail because it's almost unheard of to have a fast bowling captain in Australian cricket in the history of the game.
There'll have to be some weighting towards that.
Yeah.
Totally agree, being the captain.
Well, the other thing is DK's Super Test figures aren't included in his
No,
test
so that was
either.
close to 80-odd.
Yeah.
A year out with a back injury. But that was my first day of cricket when he broke Lance Gibbs's record at the G. I can't explain how excited, like he was like a superhero to me. But 310 wickets back then was just like, that record will last for years. He got to 355, but then, Beefy went past it. Hadley, Kapil Dev. It happened pretty quickly. To think, and Shane Warne, 700 Test wickets, are spinners, but these fast bowlers like Anderson and Broad, and now with our group, because I was actually playing golf with Rhino Harris.
Yeah.
Who did pop out the back. He was very popular out the back last night. And we're playing, and we know what a great bowler Ryan Harris is, but he probably played 30 tests. I played 20 tests, and we're just playing golf and, a lot of it and talking about, at that stage, I looked up. There was only a few Australian quicks that had played 70 tests. Dennis just got there, McGrath, and even 50 tests was like the barrier. Like there's maybe a dozen in the history of that. These guys are going way past that. So it's a credit to themselves and the fitness staff. Also, their passion to play Test cricket. When there's a little bit of, how about a rest? I'm not giving up my spot. So I've loved it. Supreme skills, that they bowl as an absolute unit. The tough thing will be how they subtly change it. Because we're going to have a drop-off in performance. No one's going to come in and be able to perform at the level of these four. So it's going to be intriguing. It's going to be a tough challenge. But I look forward to seeing that the next group. But hopefully these guys have got another couple of years together.
We need to take a break shortly, but just to finish that discussion, we are going to be talking about Pat Cummins being one of the great captains, aren't we, in time? We're talking about it now.
Oh, I think so, because what they've achieved in these last 12 months has been phenomenal. The biggest mountain to climb was that one in India, and that will be a disappointment for them. And look, that was obviously a tough series for him personally, given what was happening with his mum passing away and him leaving at that series early. But then after that, to win the World Test Championship against a very good Indian team in England was a fantastic achievement and reward for what's been a very good couple of years. And then to cap it off, that World Cup victory, I think ranks as probably arguably our greatest ever World Cup victory. And that's saying something because we've had, 6 of them?
Yep.
And to win in India, I know we did it before in 87 and that one was probably right up there as well. But this one, given how strong India are in their home conditions and to have done it after such a poor start from us, it was remarkable. And Pat Cummins led the way, not only with his bowling, but tactically in that final. He was superb.
Yeah, and the semi, that's where it hit me. He got everything right besides not bowling Big Josh out. Everything else, all these changes. He didn't have a great World Cup with the ball, but he had his best performance in the final, and that's where we rate people. He captained beautifully in the final. And besides some last wicket partnerships, and that's not just down to the captain. This is a decision made by the coaching staff and Stephen Smith on the field. They need to rectify that. I think he's captained brilliantly here. And I thought in India, and we don't know how much, his mum's health was weighing on him. That was the only series where our concerns about a fast bowling captain, are they over bowling or under bowling? And he under bowled himself in India. Whereas I think he's just getting it right. Even yesterday, every time he come on, he had real impact. And I know his teammates, they look at Big Pat Cummins and they know that's their captain, that's their leader.
You mentioned Steve Smith. Flem, we'll have a chat about Steve Smith very shortly. Simon Kadich, Damien Fleming are experts for in-place living, specialist disability accommodation designed for you. Our pre-match is for Spitwater Tools, not toys, working hard since 1982. Spitwater, I mentioned it's slightly overcast. We do expect play to start on time here on day 2. There was a spot or two of rain, but nothing really threatening, so we expect that play will start on time and about a 23-degree day. The ground and weather conditions for Rainbird, leader in irrigation for over 90 years. Stick around. Great to have your company on SEN Test Cricket.
New year, new savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Still got a heap of delays on the Monash Freeway through Narre Warren thanks to a collision, then further down to Warrigal Road towards Church Street after an earlier spill, what we call it. It's been cleaned up. All lanes are now open. Slight stench in the air, though. Join the TAC People's Ride at the Cadell Evans Great Ocean Road Race, January 27, or the free Geelong Port Family Ride on the 26th. Visit cadellroadrace.com. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
Absolutely everything is on sale at Freedom. Huge savings store-wide on sofas, furniture, mattresses, outdoor and homewares. Hurry, up to 60% off only at Freedom.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SEN.
Now presenting the King of Clean, Jenny King.
For 30 years, Jenny King has been Australia's King of Clean, offering comprehensive cleaning services that actually work for commercial offices, retail, healthcare, education spaces and more. Plus, with fantastic franchise opportunities, Jenny King has helped hundreds of Aussies become the king of their own careers. Need a comprehensive cleaning service tailored to your business needs? Talk to the King.
Jenny King, the King of Clean.
Visit janiking.com.au.
New year, new you. What are you aiming to achieve in 2024? Better golf handicap? Corporate success? New vision? Ditch your glasses and start the year with an appointment at New Vision Clinics. Now is the time to get your vision corrected and kick off 2024 with perfect vision from Melbourne's best laser eye specialist, Dr. Noel Alpens. Call New Vision Clinics for an obligation-free consultation on 1800 20 2020. That's 1800 20 2020.
The Stocktake sale is on now at 40 Winks with amazing deals as far as the eye can see. Right now, you'll get up to 50% off store-wide when you shop online or in-store. So come check out these massive savings while you can, because this is one sale you won't want to miss. But hurry, the Stocktake sale ends Sunday. Exclusions and T's and C's apply. Go to better sleep at 40 Winks. Serious about sleep.
Nothing says Aussie summer like an ice-cold Bundaberg ginger beer. Coupled with backyard barbecues, sunshine, and your mates. Bundaberg ginger beer is a true blue brew, a quintessential classic. Craft brewed over 3 days using real Aussie ginger, and a traditional family recipe which has been perfected over 4 generations. Treat yourself this summer to the great Australian brew, Bundaberg ginger beer.
It's a mountain of football on Paramount Plus with the 4th round of the FA Cup.
And it's game on!
Every game, live and exclusive. The FA Cup 4th round from January 27, only on Paramount Plus.
I've been a self-employed chippy for 15 years, and the builder I work with just told me I need to become their employee.
What? Why?
Because of Labor's new workplace reforms.
But you want to be your own boss.
Apparently that doesn't matter anymore. And I'm not the only one. At least 1 in 5 self-employed people are affected, including sparkies, brickies, plumbers and a bunch of other tradies. Visit defendyourrights.com.au for more information.
Authorised by Danita Warren, Master Builders Australia, Canberra.
The big hitters return to Australia for the world's best tennis. Big odds on the AO can be found at Betfair. We're on your side, serving up expert tips every day. Discover unique ways to bet with our powerful app. Betfair loves winning punters, just as much as the crowd love winning shots. Only at Betfair. We win if you win. Download the Betfair app today. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Henley Mortgage Fund, $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket. The pre-match show for Spitwater. Tools, not toys. Made in Australia since 1982.
Rematch, day 2, first test, Australia v the West Indies for Spitwater. Tools, not toys, working hard since 1982. And if you're unaware of where play sits at the start of day 2, with the sun just poking through the clouds a little at the moment, which is nice to see after an overcast morning. We're expecting about a 23-degree day here at the Adelaide Oval. West Indies sent in yesterday by Australia after Pat Cummins won the toss. All out for 188. Australia will start day 2. 2 for 59 in reply. Cameron Green is not out 6. Usman Khawaja not out 30. The two men that are out. Steve Smith out for 12 and Marnus Labuschagne out for 10. One of the wreckers with the ball was Josh Hazlewood. We've spoken a bit about Josh Hazlewood and how good his performance was yesterday. Well, Adam White, Ryan Harris and Bharat Sundaresan, also part of our coverage, are downstairs with Josh Hazlewood thanks to Red Energy. Switch to 100% Aussie-owned Red Energy, redenergy.com.au. Let's head downstairs.
Yes, we do have the 250 test wicket taker with us, Josh Hazlewood. How does that sound, 250?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Last one of the group to get it, so I thought I'd better hurry up and get on with it.
It's been one of those test matches at times you've probably out-bowled some of your fast bowling teammates and haven't got the wickets, whereas yesterday was another example of it was your turn today.
Yeah, I feel like, wickets come and go. All you can really focus on is sort of what you're doing at the time, bowling a good spell, bowling good balls, stacking them up together, bowling those nice spells. Just relentless is one of the things we talk about a lot, and just doing that, every session all day. And the wickets come and go. They seem to come in groups and patches, and then you go forever without one. So, just stick at it, and it comes around.
What do you think of the pitch after day one?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. It probably didn't bounce. I didn't have the pace and bounce as I thought it might. But again, there was enough there if you just hung around off stump. The odd ball sort of popped, the odd ball nipped a little bit, the odd ball sort of shot low. A lot of balls not sort of getting through the keeper on the full, but there was enough there if you hung tight.
Back-to-back tests, the 10th wicket partnership has been one of the highest of the innings. Is it just one of those things that teams go through?
Yeah, I think so. We could have had him out a number of times, but there was some nice striking there at the end. Bit of an unknown as well, being on debut, and we sort of look down to about 8 or 9 sometimes in our bowlers meeting. We might need to start the other end and start with 10, 11. But, we'll tidy those things up. And, so I think it's just sort of sometimes mixing it up a bit there at the end and keep them guessing.
And Pat spoke about it before the game. He said, when you're up against a team like this with so many unknowns, it's like you wouldn't have come across something like this since grade cricket, right? You're against an opposition where there's not a lot of footage of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, in the World Cup, you sometimes come across it with Netherlands and teams like that. I think it's nice just to get out there and try and sum it up while you're out there. You bowl 2 or 3 balls to a batter and you try and work out, his stance, what's going to work against this guy. So it sort of keeps you thinking and not just reverting back to watching footage and having a game plan beforehand and trying to go to that. So, I enjoyed it yesterday.
You spoke about Shamar Joseph with the bat, but with the ball as well. Just as a fast bowler, Josh, you should see someone young, fresh, come on the scene and do that and get Steve Smith out first ball as well.
Yeah, dream start for him to get Smithy and then Marnus later in the day with a nice bouncer. 2 big wickets to tick off there, and his rhythm looked great yesterday. Great athletes, the West Indies guys always have been. So just nice, smooth approach, and they're naturally gifted.
I'll just change to your body in the squad, mate. How you going with your body? Obviously, you missed a couple of tests early in the year, last year. Playing the 4th test in a row, which is good. Everything going good in that respect, and it looks like the other 2 as well are going pretty good.
Yeah, everyone's feeling pretty good. I think in terms of overs, it's probably been spread out almost perfectly this summer. Whenever we've had a big innings, it's been over 2 days, and if not, it's sort of been, we've wrapped the innings up pretty quickly and got away with sort of 14 or 15 in each innings. So across the 4 tests, it's been really nice, and everyone's feeling really good.
I just wanted to ask you about the difference between a day-night test match here and a day test match from a bowler, and even just from a conditions point of view. Has it changed at all what you would do?
I think pink ball, you sort of rely really a lot on the new ball, that first 20 or 30 overs, and in particular having it at night. So you got to try and time your new balls. And I guess if you bat first, you can try and do that in terms of your batting. Try and take a new ball the first night or the second night, and then 80 overs sort of repeats itself at the right times. But if you get on the wrong end of that, having an older ball during the day is it's very tough here. The ball gets quite soft. The wicket can get reasonably flat throughout the day 2, 3, 4, 5 onwards, and I just remember Gazza taking most of the wickets during the daytime here, and then the quicks sort of doing the work at night. But with the red ball, it feels like you're in the game for maybe a bit longer, and it doesn't really, you don't have to rely on that new ball at night as much.
Last question. When Ryan played, he was sort of a bit soft. They had rotation policies and all these sorts of things. But in all seriousness, how satisfied are you at the amount of test matches you're now starting to string together in a row, considering you've had your challenges with injuries at times, but you look as good as ever now with 250 test wickets under your belt? Is that particularly satisfying?
Yeah, I think at the start of my career, well, for the first 6 or 7 years in Test cricket, I'd barely missed a Test match, and it was only sort of the last 2 summers that I probably only missed 3 or 4 weeks of bowling max out of the 52 weeks of the year. It was just really bad timing, and missed a couple of Test matches, so it didn't really feel like I was injured that much. Still bowling sort of 48 weeks of the year. It was just the timing of it. So, yeah, the body feeling really good now. As I said before, the overs haven't been astronomical. They've been sort of perfectly played out for us, which also helps. And having about 8 bowlers in the team at the moment also helps as well. So hopefully we can stick around with that team.
So did you hear that, Ryan? Josh bowls 48 weeks of the year. What were you, sort of around 25, 26?
Yeah, I was a bit older here, mate. Can I just shoot one more off at you?
Yeah.
Going back to the toss yesterday, win the toss and bowl, which doesn't usually happen here at the Adelaide Oval. Does having a bowling captain help that? Or do the batters chirp at him and say, this one we need to bat on? How does that chat go now with the bowling captain, with not knowing a bowling captain whenever I play?
Yeah, he, well, no matter what the wicket looks like, he'd rather sit in the sheds and sit down for 6 hours, but he sort of has to put that to one side a little bit. But yeah, we thought there was probably enough in the wicket yesterday, and I think, talking to the Shield guys who have played a bit on this wicket, the wicket tends to flatten out. It gets harder as the game goes on. So we thought 10 wickets yesterday was probably our best chance of doing that. So, and it worked out well.
Thanks.
You've backed it up well. That was a very good question, Ryan. Congratulations on the 250. Congratulations yesterday to bowl them out for 188. Good luck today. Hope it all goes well.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Josh Hazelwood joining us down here at Boundary Side.
Our pre-match is for Spitwater Tools, Not Toys, made in Australia since 1982. Great for the fast bowling extraordinaire that we talked about a little bit earlier on about joining the 250 club and maybe being up there in Dennis Lilly's company. Josh Hazelwood having a chat to Ryan Harris, Bharat Sundaresan and Adam White. Thanks to Red Energy. Switch to 100% Aussie-owned Red Energy, redenergy.com.au. Just having a look at the West Indies wander their way across the outfield here at the Adelaide Oval. Got a little worried about some of the dark air clouds floating over just for a split second, and there was a little bit of Hessian looming with the groundsman, but they've taken the Hessian away, so we do expect play to be able to start on time. As I mentioned earlier, even though the weather can change a bit, we're not expecting a warmer day today, but tomorrow we're expecting about 29 to 30 degrees, and Saturday about 30-something, so it's going to be heating up. Hopefully the pitch plays well today and we get more runs than yesterday, which was a less than 300-run day. SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Homes build with confidence. And Ryan Harris and Bharat Sundaresan are going to come upstairs now and have a chat about all things cricket, including Steve Smith, his first day as an opener, and what might unfold today with Australia starting day 2 for 59. Cameron Green's got a perfect opportunity to get himself a big number. Usman Khawaja, likewise, is not out at the crease with him. Nick Hockley, Cricket Australia CEO, also to join us during our pre-match for Spitwater Tools, Not Toys, made in Australia since 1982. Back with more straight after this.
New year, new savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TND at hostplus.com.au.
Hello again, still got city-bound delays on the Monash Freeway. You come up the Packy bypass in through Narre Warren towards Clyde Road following an earlier collision. Still very heavy around the Princes Freeway Ring Road and Westgate interchange due to ongoing roadworks. If you see anything on the roads, 1300 595 937. Since 1977, Club X has been the place for the widest range of adult products like the Magic Touch. Now available in-store and online at clubx.com.au. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
Bevmarks, the Sleep Professionals January sale has 50% off all mattresses and 20% off all furniture, no exceptions. Available at all Bevmarks stores and online.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
A Skoda doesn't count kilometres, it measures experiences. For the best experience, head to Peninsula Skoda, Melbourne's largest Skoda dealership. With over 150 pre-owned vehicles also on site, discover your next drive at the ultimate test drive location. Peninsula Skoda, LMCT 12366.
From country to city, Ringers Western takes you there. Doesn't matter where you are, you can stand out and make a statement. Because when you wear one of their iconic work shirts, durable boots or premium cowboy hats, you'll be an icon of the outback from head to toe, wherever you go. So, make a statement with Ringers Western, your one-stop shop for rugged style and unbeatable quality. Visit them today at ringerswestern.com or your nearest store.
We could all do with some extra love. And that's exactly what we're giving during our Metricon More Love celebration. Get $50,000 to spend on bonus luxuries on our designer and signature homes for just $10,000. Yes, $50,000 of added luxury in your new dream home. The Metricon More Love celebration. On now. Eligible Studio M upgrades. Conditions apply. CDBU 52967.
The 2024 Vic Open is back at 13th Beach Golf Links from February 1 to 4. A player and fan favourite, which includes titles for women, men and all abilities. It's not just a tournament, it's a festival for the whole family. Face paint, kids activities, golf clinics and more. Entry is free. And yes, your furry friends are welcome too. The Vic Open, where golf meets fun. Save the date. Visit vicopengolf.com.
I'm running late again. Okay, gonna have to put the foot down. Just a few K's over. Won't hurt. Oh, no way.
Morning, driver. Can I see your license, please?
If you're driving, don't be tempted to speed. Chances are you will be caught. Speeding drivers can face large fines. A message from the TAC. Drive safely for everyone.
Hey guys, Steven here, introducing our new GYG-approved crispy chicken tender Cali burrito. 100% Lilydale free-range chicken breast tenders with Chipotle seasoned fries, sour cream, jack cheese, pico, and guac. Get yours now at Guzman y Gomez. Love ya.
Betfair is on your side when betting on tennis. You'll find better odds by betting punter versus punter and avoiding bookie margins. Experience the Betfair difference. Download the Betfair app today. You win some, you lose more.
Don't risk your shirt. Don't risk your pants. Don't take a chance. Go to Alamance.
Alamance Kia's new showroom is now open at the Paris end of Barclay Street, Footscray. Come in for a great Kia Grand Slam deal during January and receive $500 free accessories on every car sold. Visit 435 Barclay Street, Footscray, alamancekia.com.au or call us on 1-800-ALAN MANCE. LMCT 4976.
Don't take a chance. Go to Alamance.
Henley Mortgage Fund. $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket.
First big patch of sun for the day, day two. So it's bathed in sunshine now, the Adelaide Oval, but it is still dominating the skies. The cloud, it's a little darkish, the cloud, but good news is the play should start on time. And good news for me is that Bharat Sundaresan and Ryan Harris have come upstairs for a little chat. Our pre-match for Spitwater, tools not toys, working hard since 1982. SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Homes. Build with confidence. Bharat Sundaresan was magnificent yesterday, giving us the full story of Shamar Joseph before he took his first ever Test wicket with his first delivery to Steve Smith. He set the table for that wicket to be taken perfectly after taking the young guy shopping the day before. And I mentioned it's always a worry when Bharat takes you shopping because he does have a different fashion sense to most. And he's wandered in today with what I can only describe as probably a Reg Mombasa Mambo-style leisure suit and Crocs, alongside Ryan Harris, who's got the short-sleeve Ringers Western shirt on with the shorts today. So anticipating maybe a warmer day than I thought it would be. Welcome, guys. Great to have you back.
Nice to be back, Dwayne. Nice to be back. Morning, Dwayne. That's the best description I've ever got of whatever I decide to put on in the morning.
Well, you brighten my day when you walk up, so that's the beauty of it. Your big smile smile brightens up everybody's day as well. And you had your smile on, looking forward to what the West Indies might deliver for us yesterday before they even delivered it. And when Shamar Joseph delivered that delivery, your smile nearly broke into an unbelievable piece of laughter because we couldn't believe it, could we?
Can I just jump in there, Dwayne? I don't think the scene could have been set better in this commentary box yesterday when he took that wicket with that the discussions that you'd had and the story you told about him. And Simon Kadich on there at the time was just amazed at the description of what you said and everyone what you were talking about, and he took the wicket. It couldn't have been better.
It was unbelievable, yeah. And it's such a fairy tale, right? And I went and finally published the interview I'd done with him 3 days before. I've said the story of me taking him shopping for the arm guard and the cricket bat a few times. But that moment just before he bowled, you'll remember, Dwayne, he ran in, did not bowl, went back. We all thought he'd missed his run-up. And later when I asked him, he said, no, he was just nervous.
Right.
Because his life just flashed before his eyes. And that wasn't the first time his life flashed before his eyes, because 3 years prior, he's in the logging business, the only business you can get involved in Barakara, the village he comes from. And he's on one evening, this tree nearly falls on him. So he has this near-death experience, and his life flashes before his eyes. And he says, I can't do this anymore. I need a better life. Well, this is no life. And he takes this big punt, moves to the closest town possible. He calls it a big town. It's a population of 1,200 people. So, but it's got opportunity, scope, tries construction. He's scared of heights, so can't do that. Becomes a labourer, then becomes a security guard, works 12-hour shifts, so he can't play cricket. And then just happens to be next door to a Guyanese cricketer, Romario Shepherd, who has played a lot of white ball cricket for them, who sees him bowl and says, we need to give you a go. And then attends a bowling camp where Sir Curtly Ambrose sees him. And it's all happening not 8 years ago. This has all happened in less than 24 months.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. And
so you said yesterday that he hadn't bowled with a real cricket ball until 2 years ago?
Until 2 years ago, he was playing tape ball cricket, or in his village, any fruit that could be round, oranges, mangoes, mandarins, whatever. They played cricket with that. So imagine the splash on the shirt and the T-shirt when they were playing with that. That's the only kind of cricket he'd played before he moved to New Amsterdam.
How do you refine a technique that's pretty good then playing that kind of cricket? Because I presume you're not YouTubing video clips of the great West Indies fast bowlers to look at their mechanism or the mechanics, right? You'd know better than I. How do you refine your technique when you're not being taught one necessarily?
I'm not sure I do know better in that situation, because it's all self-taught, and the answer would be normally watch videos, as you just said, but he didn't have access to that. So it's natural ability, which again you don't see too much of, and look, I'd love to know what he has done in this short period of time, because for him to come out and have a bowling action like he has, which is a really simple, nice flowing, through the crease, into the crease and through the crease. You don't, as young kids, he's only 24, but normally at 24 you've gone through different pathways.
You've had 8 different coaches tell you to change this, change that.
Exactly, and you might have to make some changes here and there. And so for him to be able to come out and just walk out into first-class cricket obviously first, but then a test arena and do what he's done so far, that's quite extraordinary.
It is, and the thing is the control he showed at the ball as well, like that first ball, and the way he spoke about it. He said, I just wanted Steve Smith out. I told everyone in the dressing room that I'm going to get a wicket off my first ball, but I didn't expect it to be Steve Smith. And that's why he kind of didn't bowl that first delivery, Dwayne, because he was like, whoa, it's Steve Smith. This is the guy I admired the most in world cricket. He's there at the other end. And then a couple of minutes later, he gets him out, and he couldn't stop himself. He was just running all over the place. It is a remarkable story when you think that he had no internet, like you said. So he loved cricket, but he'd never seen Ambrose and Walsh really bowl live. So it's only after he moved to this little town called New Amsterdam that he started watching videos of them. And again, it's all happened in the last couple of years. He did not know what fitness was, so people asked him, natural talent or have you trained? He said, what does training mean? So they said, no, do you run? He's like, yeah. So they told him, that's part of your fitness. He's like, running is fitness? I had no idea. So this is how clueless he was about all of it. And he told me when he made his first class debut last February, they did the whole fitness drills where you run through the cones, and he had no idea what was happening. It was the same reaction he had the first time he saw an escalator. So it is from the back of beyond that he's come.
So do you give him the new ball when Steve Smith opens if there's a second innings?
I guess there's seniority, Ryan, when it comes
it'd be seniority or whatever the best. Maybe now it might be a matchup. It might be a thing that in the second innings that Steve Smith, I know he's don't get out to him maybe.
Yeah.
But knowing Steve Smith, he probably, being as good as he is, I wouldn't have thought he'd have those feelings, but you don't know. He's just got to, a debutant get him out first ball, so he might have that. But I'm not sure. I think, he's obviously gotten through his, the hardest part of making his debut is getting through that first period or first spell, I guess, or first ball first and then the first spell. I don't think he'll get it. I think the way he is at the moment is perfect because obviously Kemar Roach needs to get the new ball. I think they're going to get the best out of Kemar with the new ball. Obviously, he's not bowling as quick as he used to. He bowled pretty well yesterday. He bowled built pressure and bowled some dots. And then you got Azari Joseph. Now, I thought he actually bowled really well yesterday, Azari. He bowled quick. He hit a really nice length. He bowled nice and tight. Didn't get the reward, but again, I think those two are probably the most suitable with the new ball in this makeup at the moment.
So, what do you think will happen today? Because there is a chance that if Australia, bats well today, that they might not have to bat a second time. Steve Smith might not even come out. But if the West Indies can do some damage with the ball today, then it's game on.
Well, absolutely, and we saw yesterday again. We saw Shamar Joseph get those 2 wickets, but they also. Usman Khawaja gave a chance as well.
Yeah.
So things could have been totally different. They could have been 3 down, they could have been 4 down, who knows? So Australia have got a big job to do this morning, get Green and Khawaja to get in there, get themselves in again. I think what they've got to do, and I've just spoke about the West Indies attack, they've got Kemar Roach, who's 35, and they've got a young bloke playing his first test. They need to get them into their third and fourth spells. I think once they do that, you might see them starting to tire a bit. The other thing about that is, we heard, I think it was, who bowled yesterday? It was a Moti, who bowled the left-arm spinner who's quite rumoured to be quite accurate. He's over the last night, was okay. He probably needs to make sure today he's trying to take a wicket, but he's accurate. And then if he's doing that job at one end, then the West Indies, that'll allow Brathwaite to rotate his quicks from the other end, which will save that energy and save those spells.
Yeah, and I think from a West Indies perspective, they need to strike early and get into that Travis Head, Mitchell Marsh side of things, because once Head walks out, especially on his home ground, it could go one of two ways. Either Australia just run away with the game, or he could get out pretty early, trying to be aggressive in these kind of conditions. And then what West Indies need to do is what Pakistan did in Melbourne and Sydney, is not let Australia run away too far and then have to play catch up from too far behind. They'll still have to bat much better than they did in the first innings when they had turned the second time around. But that's the West Indian perspective. From an Australian perspective, you're right. Cam Green, number 4, he looked good yesterday in what we saw of him. Usman Khawaja is flowing. He's got better rhythm in this innings than I think he had even against Pakistan, even though he got a 90 or so. So I think that's good signs for Australia. So if they can take this partnership deep, if they can just see off the first half hour, the ball is already 21 overs bowled, and we saw that once the ball completely loses its sheen, it gets really easy to bat on.
Yeah.
Great to have you both in. We'll talk to you very shortly. Nick Hockley's not far away from joining us. And Bharat, well, it's on Bharat's call of the Shamar Joseph delivery in the story. It's on your X. It's on you on Instagram or Twitter? Is it mainly Twitter?
It's Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, and it's on SEN Twitter account as well. So you probably got how many followers you got, Bharat? You'd have a few, wouldn't you?
Yeah, around 95,000.
Okay, we've probably got more than SEN. That's how big Bharat is around the world. But it's all there for you to check out. Bharat's story behind the opening delivery of the opening test for Shamar Joseph that got the wicket of the opener, Steve Smith, opening for Australia for the first time. Our pre-match is for Spitwater, Tools Not Toys, working hard since 1982. And Bharat and Ryan, our experts for in-place living, specialist disability accommodation designed for you. SEN Test cricketers for Henley Holmes, build with confidence, and Nick Hockley, Cricket Australia CEO, will join us next.
New year, new savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Since 1977, Club X has been the place for the widest range of adult products, like the Magic Touch, now available in-store and online at clubx.com.au.
The Australian Open, the biggest matches called live right here on SEN.
The Apache helicopter. The apex of flying military might. It can outmaneuver and outgun anything else in the sky. But they're not so great to take on holiday. Apache Caravans are built to handle just as much punishment, and they're rolling fortresses of comfort designed for true off-road reliability. An Apache Caravan makes the helicopter look clumsy. ApacheCaravans.com.au. Apache Caravans don't actually fly, but they will take you places.
The new year is here. So if you're planning on proposing this summer, visit the Diamond Guys now. Put a deposit on the perfect diamond engagement ring now, and you'll also get a free pair of diamond earrings. That's her birthday sorted too. Don't leave it too late to book your free one-on-one consultation now and mention SEN. The Diamond Guys, diamond experts so you don't have to be. thediamondguys.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Love a ute? Then get into Werribee Isuzu Ute today, where the brand new D-Max is in stock and ready to go from $31,990 drive away. Or a late model MUX in stock too and ready to drive from $44,888 drive away. Plus great finance packages for ABN and private buyers and top dollar for trade-ins. Get to Werribee Isuzu Ute, Old Geelong Road, Hoppers Crossing. Visit werribeeisuzuute.com.au. LMCT 114.
Say hey to fast withdrawals from Dabble.
Hey, how fast do you reckon it really is, mate?
It's pretty fast, mate. I reckon if you withdraw your funds now, they'd be in your bank account by the end of this ad break.
Jeez, that's fast. Well, go on then. Give it a go. Mate, it's a great way to keep the night going.
Download now and have a dabble.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Hi, Gary Lyon here. Good mornings. Start with Temper. Temper's range of mattresses and adjustable bases adapt to the exact shape of your body so you can put your head and feet up in comfort. Also, if you're like me and have ongoing back concerns, Temper mattresses assist in alleviating your pain. Find your perfect position with an easy-to-use wireless remote and massage function available at the touch of a button. Experience the Temper range today. You can view Temper athlete stories at temper.com.au. Temper, a mattress like no other.
Kick the new year off with a bang at Cranbourne Turf Club's Summer Nights. Reconnect with friends and family across 3 epic Friday nights in January, the 5th, 12th and 19th. With drink specials, live music and great tiered dining options, there's something to suit everyone. Summer Nights at Cranbourne Turf Club, January 5, 12 and 19. Don't miss it. Get your tickets at cranbourneturfclub.com.au or call 5996 1300.
Samsonite is known for innovative and stylish suitcases. Now alongside brand ambassador Casper Ruud, Samsonite launches a lime green colour in the Proxys collection. Made in Europe from Roxkin Material Technology, Proxys is fully equipped for outstanding travel experiences. Samsonite, the world leader in luggage.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Right now, get your hands on some amazing bonuses when you purchase selected Makita XGT kits and combos. It's power, performance and value like you've never seen before. Limited time only, offer via online redemption. See makita.com.au for details. Makita XGT, it's power without limits.
I want my Makita back.
Henley Mortgage Fund, $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket.
For SEN Test Cricket, brought to you by the good people at Host Plus and Henley Homes. Build with confidence. Our pre-match is for Spitwater Tools, not toys, working hard since 1982. Day 2, not far away from getting underway. That battle between cloud and sun is still being fought. At the moment, the sun's still winning, and Australia 2 for 59. We expect the pitch to play fairly kindly for Cameron Green and Usman Khawaja, but one man who was down there having a little spy on it was Adam White about half an hour ago. Did you have a little browse? What are your
no
thoughts?
doubt. I love going down and not only having a look at the pitch, but chatting to the curators and working out exactly what they think the pitch is playing like. I think they would have liked perhaps a little bit more bounce on day one. We saw quite a few balls go through to the keeper on the first or second bounce. But the feeling is today that the pitch will probably quicken up a little bit. And, they're reasonably happy with how things are at the moment. Looking at it, it's not dissimilar to what you would see at the MCG. Similar situation with a drop-in wicket. It was a bit drier than what I thought it would be and harder going into day one. But the feeling was because there'd been so much hot weather in the build-up to the first test, that was one of the reasons for that. But even just talking to the curators about, we talk about the players having to adjust from a pink ball test or a day-night test to a day test. It's the same for the curators here at the Adelaide Oval because they're preparing a day pitch, but also they're preparing a pitch in the middle of January versus the start of December, which has been the case for a while. So they're learning a little bit more about things as well.
You hung around with the Adelaide camp for a little while before you had a chat to Josh. How was their confidence level? Did they have much to say about the way the day unfolded yesterday?
The West Indies guys?
Or you had a chat to them as well, but you were with the Aussies for a while down there, I saw.
I think they were happy. I think they were a little bit frustrated around the fact that they let that last partnership
55-run stand
fester a little bit, particularly off the back of what happened in that test match in Sydney against Pakistan. Same thing. They sort of let the foot off the pedal a little bit. What I think is interesting, and Bharat Sundaresan made this comment to Josh Hazlewood, is, trying to scout the opposition has been really difficult because the Australians don't know much about them at all. And I think it's probably more a factor with the bowlers than the batsmen, because with the batsmen, bowlers bowl the ball, they're going to back themselves in against the West Indies. But from a bowling point of view, I know that certainly the Australians were surprised by Shamar Joseph, and I think that evidenced by the wicket of Labuschagne that it actually got big on him. It was a much quicker ball than he was expecting. And as a result of that, he's played a poor hook shot, but that was because we were probably up here underrating how good the actual delivery was.
And had they been rolled for 135 or 140, which at one stage they looked like being rolled for, it probably would have wrecked the test. By getting 188, we at least know that there's a little bit of pressure on the Aussies today to deliver.
Absolutely, Dwayne. And I think I was reflecting on this last night about watching the day's play. It was an entertaining day of cricket, and that's what the West Indies do. They provide entertainment. There's a bit of spunk about them. There's certainly a lot of confidence about them. They play their shots. They bowl fast. They're athletic in the field. They are good to watch. It's just, the challenge for the West Indies is to sustain that for longer periods rather than just seeing glimpses of it. And with a young side, we might not see that over these two test matches, but they're going to get a lot of experience for the future. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. So, Cricket Australia CEO Nick Hockley is about to join us as part of our pre-match for Spitwater. Tours, not toys, working hard since 1982. SEN Test Cricket live from the Adelaide Oval for Host Plus and Henley Homes. Build with confidence, and he did wander across the ground pretty much with me but not with me today. I saw him walking across the footbridge just on his own, just minding his own business. I nearly, because I was about 8 metres behind him, went up and said, "Hey Nick, you're about to join us a little bit later on," but I thought I'd leave him in his own space because he looked like he was just enjoying the glory of being here. Nick,
catch him.
You didn't have any friends, you're just wandering across the footbridge on your own. Hang on, here we go.
I just take in the atmosphere, and wasn't it great? You should have said hello. Good morning.
You were just in your own space, and sometimes it's just nice to see a man enjoying his world. You look like why wouldn't you? The crowd was sensational yesterday.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant. 26,000, more than last year. It's just a spectacular place to watch cricket. Lots of out-of-towners as well, all having a great time, so...
And cricket's flying right now. The ratings have been enormous. You must be pretty happy with the way it's all unfolded.
Yeah, really thrilled with this summer. I mean, I thought the Pakistan series was fantastic, really competitive. The Big Bash has been great. I think the decision to slightly tighten it from 56 regular home games to 40 has been great. We've had a few games affected by rain, but it's been wonderful. And I think I was at the Big Bash in Sydney, the last Sydney Smash, 42,000. It was absolutely superb, and I think a number of the clubs have set attendance records. So there's a really good vibe around the place, and a couple of massive summers coming up with India and the Ashes. So lots to celebrate, lots to be thankful for, and lots to look forward to.
There were concerns coming into this summer because India wasn't coming or England wasn't coming, and it was Pakistan and the West Indies, and the BBL has had some challenges. But as Dwayne said, it has almost exploded back to life. Do you know why?
Oh, I just think there's been some fantastic cricket, and I just think there's amazing passion for the game in Australia. And I think both our women's team, who won both, well, they missed out on the Test series, but won both those series. I think this team has played some fantastic cricket. I think Pakistan really turned up, and I think everybody's had a couple of difficult years, and it just shows that sport, but also cricket, bringing families together and having a great night out. I mean, the beauty about cricket is you can watch the sport, and you can also sit and chat and catch up, and it's just a great way to bring everyone together.
So the question I've got for you is, we're here at Adelaide, and it isn't a day-night game. It is a day game, which is different to what we've had in previous years. My first question is, why is this a day game and not a day-night game compared to Brisbane? That's my first question.
Yeah, sure. So this season, the scheduling has been really super complicated, and that's because of the World Cup. Everything's pushed a bit later. So we've had to play Test matches throughout the duration of the Big Bash. So the reason this is a day game is so that we can play the Big Bash finals in the evening, and then the first day of the fifth Test at the Gabba is the day after the Big Bash finals. So, the beauty is that cricket's on 12 hours a day, and there's some great cricket on every evening, and that's what we've sat down. We've worked with both our broadcast partners, and I think that the way that the interplay between the Test series and the Big Bash has just been great.
And then the second question is, moving forward, will Adelaide go back to that early December spot and back to day-night Test cricket moving forward?
So that's something that we're working through at the moment, right across the country. And so we've got a good level of certainty over our schedule for the next 7 years. And what we're working to do is to give everybody certainty about what they're getting over that whole time, so that we can all plan, so that people travelling from whether it's from England, India, they can also plan. So we're working to make some announcements in the not too distant future. The next 2 summers do revert back to 5 tests against India and then against England, with the last Test match being the New Year's Test. So there will be 3 Test matches ahead of the Boxing Day Test.
Sounds pretty promising, Dwayne.
So the Big Bash will be condensed even further, because you want all the good players to stay here and play the entirety of the Big Bash. You don't want them leaving for other competitions. Other competitions are throwing a lot of money at their T20 players to try and get them to come to theirs, and we're facing that again with this summer here. So you'll condense it a bit more again, or?
I think we're pretty well set on it. So I think the timing for the Big Bash is really the school holidays.
Yeah.
And that's because it's just such a great night out for families. My girls are 8 and 12, and we just have the best time going along in the evening. So I think when it is pretty well set. Probably the difference next year is, as I said, the New Year's Test will be the last international cricket on home soil. So we've worked really hard to get as many of our Test stars playing this year. You've seen we've just released Matt Renshaw from the squad to go back and play for the Heat in the finals. And so hopefully we'll get even more availability over the next couple of years from our Test players into the Big Bash.
Other countries still trying to steal your ground, though? Steal your players?
Well, it is. I mean,
it's your timing?
Oh, look, I mean, that's the thing about cricket. There's more money, more playing opportunities. There's more leagues popping up. I mean, this year is a really, I think, good example of how we've worked collaboratively with the other boards. So what happened this year is that the ILT20, which is the competition in the UAE, initially they wanted to start on the 13th of Jan, which would have been a direct clash, but we worked with them. They've moved that back to the 19th. So scheduling's always going to be, it's really, really complicated. But, I think that we're really set on that summer holiday period for Big Bash going forward. And I think the fact that the players and the agents all have that certainty, means that I think hopefully will maximise the player availability going forward.
Can I ask you on that one? Because I think for the BBL to be a proper competition, we can't have a situation where some of the gun players leave for the finals. And I even just listening to Laurie Evans the other night on the player mic, you could tell he didn't want to leave, but he's compelled to just through circumstances. How is it possible that we can, I don't know, use your negotiating powers or whatever it is to be in a situation where we can have clear air? We're not going to have that with South Africa because we share summers, but at least for that one in UAE where the players that are playing the home and away season play the finals as well.
Look, I do think we need to really work together. I think on our last player deal and through the player draft, we've upped our investment in top players for the Big Bash leagues, and that's women and men. Look, I think with certainty around scheduling, a bit more certainty around scheduling, I think the optimal contract for an overseas player coming is that they basically commit to the Big Bash, and then they commit to playing all the way through the finals, and they then move on when their team is either not qualified or have been knocked out of the competition. That's our hope. That's the wish. Those are the discussions that we'll have going forward. But I do think this year. I know Laurie Evans was kind of disappointed. It's great that he's disappointed because it shows that he loves the Big Bash so much. But the players' availability was known right at the outset. And that's just something that we've got to work with.
So is it more putting pressure on the players, as you said, to stay the entirety, or is it more cricket boards and cricket authorities getting in a room and saying, can we all have a situation here where we all have an equal piece of the pie? Is that possible, or is that unrealistic?
That's what we've done this year. The ILT20 moved back a week.
It needs to go another week.
Well, I mean, those are discussions that we'll have after the season. And, it does need everyone to work together. It needs the players, the boards, the leagues, all to work together. And the main thing is giving people certainty up front. So, we know very well what the international player availability was. The clubs knew well before the draft. That's going to inform their decision making. But one thing that is very, very clear is that overseas players, they love playing in Australia. It's such a high quality competition. I think particularly leading into a T20 World Cup, there's now going to be a real focus on T20. You've seen that now. Mitch Stark, as an example, has sat out of the IPL, but is going to play this year, which will be a great preparation and lead in for a T20 World Cup in the US and the West Indies.
How long is your long-term planning when it comes to Test cricket and the formats around the world, and how many times Test cricket will continue to be played by various countries, because we don't want the slow death of Test cricket to creep up on us?
Yeah, so I think it's been on a 4-year and 8-year cycles to date, but I think the discussion now, with the World Test Championship being set, every game counts, and the conversations that we're picking up around the ICC are now looking beyond the next 4-year cycle to think, what does Test cricket look like in 10, 20, 30 years? So, that's a discussion. It's a discussion that's being had more broadly around the place. And what I've taken
Who's got the most weight at the table there? It's a loaded question, but when it comes to deciding, no, we're not going to do this because that's where the money is, or yes, we are going to do this because that's the tradition of the game. It started with Test cricket. We always have to look after that base product. Yeah,
I think it's got to be a collective. It's got to be a collective discussion. And for me, it's all about context. And, I know that, every single one of these games for the World Test Championship means a lot to everyone. I mean, I thought the debutantes yesterday for the West Indies, it was just so refreshing just to see that love for the Test cricket. I thought that the lad Shamar Jones, I thought his post-match interview was just brilliant, because you could see the love for the long form of the game and what it meant to him. So the players love Test cricket. It is really about it's about finding a balance, because Test cricket's thriving here, absolutely thriving. And we've got to make sure that we're protecting it where there's a bit more competing and economic pressures.
Is it helpful that we get the West Indies on the big stage here in Australia? We start to hear the stories. see the young players coming through, that then, again, when you're having those discussions with all the countries about trying to find this solution to making sure we're not losing them to short-form cricket, that here's an example of what's possible into the future?
Totally. I mean, I firmly believe that ultimately it's going to be the fans that decide, and there's a rusted-on, fan base for Test cricket. At the SCG for the Pink Test, the thing that was really notable for me was just the number of kids coming in to watch Test cricket. So I'm a firm believer that T20 and getting people in, then it does translate to people coming and following Test cricket. So yesterday, this West Indies team, I remember the first Test match that I can really remember going to with my dad was that 84 series in the UK. Malcolm Marshall and co just absolutely steaming in, and I do think that we found a superstar here, and those stories, that's really important for the kids. They're going to now be looking up this team, wanting to hear a bit more about their backstory, and that's all part of it. So absolutely, playing here and on the biggest stage is really, really important, and then it's equally really important us making sure that we're fulfilling our touring commitments, because the tour in Pakistan, just to see that country, 220 million people, was just, and the way that lit up the country when we toured there a couple of years ago was amazing.
I just want to go back to the BBL for a second, because we obviously are nearly at finals. In fact, we are at finals now. Why has it been so successful? I mean, obviously it's a shortened season somewhat, but why do you think we're seeing these massive crowds? Why do you think we're seeing the TV ratings grow significantly this year?
Well, firstly, I think it's always been a brilliant experience for families. I think the quality of the cricket is incredible. And then I do think that we sat down about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, and said, coming out of COVID and, with all our partners, and say, look, what's the potential for this tournament? And we saw very much in the early days of the Big Bash the potential, and it's if any, it's that plus. So I think it's been a really incredible concerted effort between our partners, the clubs, the venues, and we just to do a whole range of new things. We've tried to bring back loads more entertainment. I thought that Rocket Man coming back to the Gabba, I thought that the whole presentation around kind of Finchie's farewell, played in every Big Bash league so far, and the retiring of the shirt, I thought, and the turnout at Marvel, notwithstanding the Renegades haven't made it through, I thought that was fantastic. But that doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes. So I think it's just been everyone pulling in the same direction, and it's there's a lot of belief. There's a lot of belief in it as a concept, and the big focus now is. We've seen with the stadium round with the WBBL, but how can we make sure the WBBL and the BBL are on really on equal footing? And I think we've got a really exciting couple of years ahead, and the scheduling is going to be even better next year, because we haven't had the Test matches all the way through January.
Nick, great to have you in. I really appreciate your time. I know when a broadcaster like Fox buys the rights, it's their product, and they've invested very heavily in making sure that the product is as good as it could possibly be. So it's a fantastic story to hear that the ratings are up and you're getting these kind of numbers, because it's a win for everybody. Win for Test cricket, win for you, win for Fox, win for Seven. And it's a win for the fans who turned out in force yesterday afternoon, 26,000 on a Wednesday afternoon, a work day. So it's proof in the pudding in that you've done a good job. So well done to you, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
Nick Hockley joining us.
You got to make sure you catch up with him tomorrow on the footbridge.
If he's wandering over the footbridge again in as beautiful a headspace as he was today, I just not be disturbing the man.
You just couldn't catch him.
Sometimes the man just needs to be alone with his own thoughts. Our pre-match is for Spitwater Tools, Not Toys, working hard since 1982. SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Homes. Build with confidence.
New year, new savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TND at hostplus.com.au.
Still got closures in place following an earlier building fire in Preston. High Street's closed to city-bound traffic between Gower Street and Bell Street. Take St George's Road or Plenty Road. Clearing up a smash Golf Links Road, Frankston, just near the Mornington Peninsula Freeway. And if you see anything on the roads, 1300 595 937. This summer, take your taste buds to the tropics with Macca's new pineapple fritters or pineapple sundae with chunky pineapple sauce. Available after 10:30am for a limited time. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
The King Living Summer Sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on selected Australian-designed indoor and outdoor furniture. Sale ends soon. Visit your nearest King Living showroom today.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SEN.
At AutoFlip, we've flipped the script on selling your car. Forget lowball trade-in offers or weeks of dodgy tyre kickers dropping by. Simply list your car online for free with AutoFlip and have over 1,000 dealers bidding to buy your car. Smart, hey? AutoFlip flips the selling process on its head. Better still, you only pay when you accept the best offer. So don't just sell your car, flip it with AutoFlip. It's the easier, quicker, smarter way to sell your car.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Crowell's Electrical and Solar Man. Leaping from roof to roof, he's keeping the residents of homes across Australia safe from rising energy costs with solar power systems from Crowell's Electrical and Solar. Sourcing energy direct from the sun, he's helping everyday Australians save thousands of dollars every year. Lower the cost of living with Crowell's Electrical and Solar Man. Visit CROWLZ electrical.com. REC 22623.
Right now, it's back to school and back to work time at Bingley.
With great deals on laptops, tablets, printers.
The latest IT hardware, smart home, Google Nest Mini and much more.
None of that was around when I was young.
What did you have before technology, Dad?
Encyclopedias.
Dictionaries.
Typewriters.
This is like a history lesson with you two.
I should go back to school.
You should get back to work.
Don't miss our huge back to school and back to work deals at Bingley.
Before their history.
Bingley, better living every day.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
The Apache helicopter. Not so great to take on holiday. But Apache caravans are built to handle just as much punishment, and they're rolling fortresses of comfort. ApacheCaravans.com.au. Apache caravans don't actually fly, but they will take you places.
Level up Dad's game. Skip the usual gift options for Spitwater's Aussie-made tools, not toys. Best models, bonus accessories, and savings of up to $630. Picture this: cold water petrol-driven and hot and cold electric diesel model pressure cleaners, plus the Vacstorm wet and dry commercial-grade vacuum cleaner. Visit spitwater.com.au or dial 1-800-SPITWATER to join the tool revolution. Spitwater, working as hard as you since 1982. Tools, not toys, because grown-ups deserve the good stuff.
Don't risk your shirt. Don't risk your pants. Don't take a chance. Go to Alamance.
Alamance Kia's new showroom is now open at the Paris end of Barclay Street, Footscray. Come in for a great Kia Grand Slam deal during January and receive $500 free accessories on every car sold. Visit 435 Barclay Street, Footscray, alamancekia.com.au or call us on 1-800-ALAN-MANCE.
LMCT 4976. Don't take a chance. Go to Alamance.
Henley Mortgage Fund. $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket.
Yes, welcome back to SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Homes. Build with confidence. Our pre-match is for Spitwater. Tools, not toys, made in Australia since 1982. Adam White is here. Also, Peter Lawler is with me. Now, Pete, the big story in the build-up to the test was Steve Smith. He batted, he got out. What's the assessment from the press room on what happened yesterday?
Well, I mean, the press room's not going to jump off Steve Smith after one innings. And I mean, the press room is so grateful for the gift of Steve Smith as a story. You know? In the absence of the human headline, David Warner, Stephen Smith has done a fair job filling in the gap there and giving us plenty to write about. And yes, it didn't turn out the way we hoped. He did look brighter at the wicket. He did look more energised. You were just saying before we came on air that it was pretty familiar dismissal.
Well, he got out the same way as he's been getting out batting at 4. Playing at balls he would not normally play at.
Yes, there is that, and his returns have been diminishing. So are Steve Smith's skills diminishing? Are they fading? Is he at the time of his career? It's too early to tell. I mean, he's still averaged, reasonably well the last year.
Unfortunately, he's set such a high bar, hasn't he?
Yes, I mean, it's Steve Smith 1 or Steve Smith 2.
Yeah.
But I think there's a few centuries left in Steve Smith yet. I'm not getting off Steve Smith in any way.
I'm not either, but my question is more, I think in the build-up to this, it was a mental thing with Steve Smith that he needed something different, a new challenge.
Yeah.
I think it was more that than the physical side of actually, or the technician side of playing at balls he would not normally play at, but we'll have to see. Cameron Green is an interesting discussion today because he's got number 4. He got through to stumps.
Yeah.
He could really nail that spot today.
Yeah. Cameron Green is the secondary story, but he's still a very, very good story. I mean, he's back in that side. I've banged the table for years saying he is the most valuable cricketer in Australia, and I banged it in here yesterday saying that he has to be in the Test team. A person with that much talent cannot be mixing the cordial. When he moved up the order for Western Australia, his batting went through the roof. He averaged 66 in first-class cricket up the order. If he can make that number 4 spot his, Australian cricket's in a really good place, because there's going to be some changes in the team, but that he's going to be there for, hopefully, for a decade or more.
It's future-proofing. It's future-proofing. That's what it's doing as well as anything else. Before we let you go, because the first ball isn't too far away, there is a survey going on here in Adelaide at the moment.
I love it. I love the local papers. You get to Melbourne and the Herald Sun does the page 4-5 spread. You go to Perth and it's what's the Perth paper? The West Australian. Apologies, West Australian. Or the Courier Mail. We'll be up there next week. There's the traditional page 4-5 spread on day one. It's Millie and Timmy at the cricket with their mum and their bucket hats on and playing this. But the Adelaide Advertiser went hard today. It did a survey of 300 people to find out, because, they're not all that happy about having the test at this time of year. What were the survey results? Tapping his head here. 60% of them wanted the test moved back to December. 75% of them want a day-night test. The day-night test, we know, is a big hit with fans and with broadcasters. It's not a favourite among press guys because we like to get out for dinner a bit earlier than that.
That's right. All right. Well, listening to Nick Hockley, I reckon it's almost certain we'll be back in December in the day-night from what he said to us earlier. Thanks, Pete. We'll see you throughout the course of the day.
Good to chat.
Pete Lawler joining us in the broadcast box. Dwayne Russell isn't far away, so is the first ball. Stick with us on SEN Test Cricket.
New year, new savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TND at hostplus.com.au.
The Isuzu D-Max is in stock now. Whether it's for work or play, the Isuzu D-Max is ready for anything. Discover the range at your local Isuzu Ute dealer today.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
For a great Kia Grand Slam deal, visit Alan Mads during January and receive $500 free accessories on every car sold. Visit alanmadskia.com.au or call 1-800-ALAN-MADS. LMCT 4976.
Don't take a chance, go to Alan Mads.
When it comes to delivering on experience and reliability,
Robots got it.
Robot Building Supplies can help you get the job done.
They sure will. Right now, pick up 200 by 50 sleepers at only $7.85 per metre. Building trades, engineering projects and at-home DIY. Robot's been in the building game for over 70 years. They've seen it all and know it all.
Robot Building Supplies, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies. Our next segment is brought to us by Red Rooster's Shared Burger Pack. Enjoy 2 delicious Ripper Rolls, 2 Red's Burgers, 2 large chips, 12 golden nuggets, and 2 sauces. I'll be back.
George.
The rooster's calling. The shared burger pack from Red Rooster. Get them now and get them everywhere. See website for details.
Australia is a sports haven, and in any sports mad nation, there's a whole swoop of iconic sports fields, stadiums, ovals and grounds. And our most iconic grounds are watered by Rainbird, like the MCG, Australia's hallowed turf, home of Aussie rules, the grand final, Boxing Day. Heroes are born on that emerald field with the bat, with the ball, or 50 out from the posts. And its field is watered by Rainbird. Smarter irrigation, the intelligent use of water.
What's better than winning the match? Winning the series. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's Best Super Fund for 2024. Judged on strong performance, value for money and a focus on members. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Visit moneymag.com.au for awards criteria. General advice only. Consider your circumstances and the relevant PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding. Awards and ratings are only one factor to consider. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. Search Compare Host Plus today.
Hey, it's Candy here. As a presenter in the world of sport, I see many powerful performances. Now, thanks to Azito, we're helping power your next DIY project. Did you know Azito's 18-volt range is powered by Einhell? German-designed quality, driving, innovation and performance. So you can power over 85 cordless tool and garden products with the same battery. Azito, powering DIYers all day, every day. Exclusively available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Level up Dad's game. Skip the usual gift options for Spitwater's Aussie-made tools, not toys. Best models, bonus accessories and savings of up to $630. Picture this. Cold water petrol-driven and hot and cold electric diesel model pressure cleaners, plus the Vacstorm wet and dry commercial-grade vacuum cleaner. Visit spitwater.com.au or dial 1-800-SPITWATER to join the tool revolution. Spitwater, working as hard as you since 1982. Tools, not toys, because grown-ups deserve the good stuff.
Millions of kilometres covered, thousands of servo coffees, tons of boats towed, plenty of that's not going anywheres, and countless grains of sand. Seriously, where does it keep coming from? A whole lot of work sites, trips with workmates, and getting roped into helping just about everyone move house. 50 years, 8 generations, only one Toyota Hilux. Hilux, an unbreakable connection since 1968. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Henley Mortgage Fund, $1,000 a month off your home loan for 2 years. All backed by Henley's $7 billion parent company. Australia versus the West Indies on SEN Test Cricket. The first session for MEGT. Test what's possible with an apprentice or trainee from MEGT.
SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Holmes build with confidence. Day 2 about to get underway with Australia 2-4-59. Great to have your company. Great to be in the company of Damien Fleming and Ryan Harris, who are alongside me. Alzari Joseph has the ball, and it's Usman Khawaja who's on strike. Usman 30 not out. Cameron Green 6 not out at the non-strikers end. If you're unaware, the two men that are out, Steve Smith out for 12, Marnus Labuschagne out for 10. A little bit of sunshine poking through again with the cloud that's been the dominant force all morning, but we're expecting about a 23-degree day here in Adelaide and perfect conditions, and maybe the pitch to settle a little. Alzari Joseph being held up as the clock continues to tick to the allotted local time of 10 o'clock, and he's now being given the okay. Crowd still building here at the Adelaide Oval. We had about 26,000 yesterday afternoon on a Wednesday, on a work day, and the opening delivery of day 2. Joseph in. Khawaja allows it to pass through to the keeper, Damien Fleming. And Ryan Harris, welcome back.
Rhino, and listeners. It's a good opportunity here for Alzari Joseph to set the tone. He's the quickest of the West Indian bowlers. And we talked about in the pre-match, this first hour is so important. They can't afford for Australia to have 8 wickets in hand at drinks. They need to use the Kookaburra ball while it's still relatively new. And that wasn't a bad start, getting the ball through to the keeper on a good length.
That weather update was for Rainbird, leader in irrigation for over 90 years, as one pushed back down the pitch to Alzari Joseph, who fields off his own bowler.
One thing I noticed, Rhino, though, with Alzari, last year he bowled with real pace. He has the old school warm-up balls, doesn't he?
With the looseness.
Watch the way he jogs in,
the looseness. I just thought that first one was gentle, wasn't it? And that second one there was probably a long half volley that Kawaja didn't make the most of. But you're right, he just takes a couple of balls to get going, doesn't he?
He's had a couple of balls now. Usman's had a look at a couple. Joseph in. Usman allows it through to the keeper, and Usman's lucky to be there. He was put down early yesterday in his innings.
He was, but besides that, he was unfazed, isn't it? Like it's been an amazing resurgence as an opener, and I think people will look back and they'll say, why didn't he open his whole career? Because I think he's into his 52nd test as an opener. He's averaging 58. Like that's the elite Australian
huge,
test batting opening up.
Zari Joseph at the top of his mark. In now, Usman crouches, and he's forced to play this high off the stickers of the bat defensively back down the pitch.
And it's also, a unique position opening. That you want guys who relate really well to each other, don't they? And Dave Warner, throughout his career, you could see there were certain openers he wasn't happy opening with, that they didn't rotate the strike enough and all that sort of stuff. But then going to open up with his schoolboy mate, Usman Khawaja, you just think, gee, why didn't that happen earlier?
Well, it was almost the dream finish, wasn't it? Dream partnership that you're right, the chemistry they had.
Khawaja on strike, 30 not out. Joseph into him, and defensive, pushing from the crease, tried to squeeze it off the outside half of the bat, but no addition to that score of 2 for 59.
What's he up to these? It seems ages ago since Warner opened for Australia. What's he up to these days, Ryan?
Well, he's played some big bash in between.
Okay, right. Thanks for that.
Flying on helicopters.
Yes.
He's done that. He's been in one place and flying into a game, flying into the game.
Yeah, just often wonder what happened to him.
How quickly we move on. It's a bit like the Truman Show, at the end of the Truman Show, if everyone was crying, and then, what's next? What are we watching next? And that's the way it is. Champions come and go, and there's always another champion on the rise. We might see one out there, Cameron Green, today in full flight. Khawaja allows this to pass through to the keeper. It's being tested early. That's the end of the over. That score for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection. Australia 2 for 59.
Hello again, watch out for a breakdown. Crews attending to on the ring road, Greensboro bound, just after the EJ Whitten Bridge. Got a lane close, speed reduced. Delays coming off the ring road, Altona bound, getting onto the West Gate, Solid to Millers. Outbound the West Gates, Cactus, Willie to Ring. Ready to play by your own rules? Powerball's massive $100 million jackpot is on tonight. Buy in-store, online or on the Lot app before 8:30 tonight. If you see anything on the roads, 1300 595 937. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
Shamar Joseph with the ball in hand. He was the story late yesterday with the bat and the story with the ball. He got the wicket of Steve Smith, opening for Australia for the first time. Steve Smith and Shamar Joseph, the wicket with his first delivery in Test cricket. And his interview post-game was arguably better than his final session yesterday. He was superb to watch, and he's been fantastic to listen to, and the story might continue here. He's continuing to Cam Green. He's on strike and pushes it back down the pitch defensively. And Cam Green could be the story. We see, you mentioned Dave Warner. What's he doing now? Where's he going? What's he up to? But Cam Green could be the story we're going to be talking about for the next 10 or so years.
Yeah, I want some runs for him. I want him to be able to shore up that number 4 position. With the Stephen Smith dismissal, the worry with that, Rhino, and it's been a concern, that 4th or 5th stump line to Smith this summer, is opening the batting. You're going to get a lot of balls in that
Lots
area.
of it. Yeah, for me, in-form Steve Smith doesn't play those. So I'm worried about that.
Green waits, and he allows it through to the keeper. And that rolled to De Silva. It did. Took about 3 bounces to get to him, which did happen a bit yesterday. The inconsistent bounce.
Yeah, he's going back to Smith. He's all summer he's played a lot of those balls, hasn't he? I think
I'd like to go back and see how he dealt with them 3 years ago.
Yeah, I reckon he was leaving him.
I reckon he moved across the crease more,
or that,
and he let them go more, or he covered them and hit them through the leg side. There's something that's changed with his technique.
Yeah.
Green 6 not out. And Joseph into him. He's forced him into play in here. And he gets it between gully and point. Outside half of the bat. It was a beautiful stroke in the end. It rolls its way to the boundary. for 4 for Azito. Was on the ground all the way. Azito all day, every day. And this first session, by the way, brought to us by MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. And speaking of experts, Damien Fleming and Ryan Harris for in-place living, specialist disability accommodation designed for you.
I think to be a good middle order player at test level, you've got to be able to play this shot. It's a safe shot too, isn't it? It's just a back foot punch.
Really late.
Which you can hit hard through the covers or just delay your hand speed, open up the face and run it through that area for point for 4. Good shot.
Adjusted the field slightly as Joseph is into him. He turns this on the onside this time. Beautifully through mid-wicket. It'll be 4 again.
And that shot as well, Flem. Through mid-wicket. On the stumps, probably knee roll height. Geez, he hit that nice and hard.
We've all done that, Rhino, haven't we? Been worked through the offside and then overcompensated and got hit through the leg side and you're going back and the anger's building.
You're trying harder, trying to bowl faster. Yeah, it's been all there.
So we'll see how the kid responds, but back-to-back 4s
but
for
I think
Azito all day, every day. Azito?
Green's technically very efficient.
Yep.
The only where he needs to improve is his intent.
Shamar Joseph into him again, and he plays edged it, and he's out. Unbelievable. Shamar Joseph's done it again. The wicket of Cameron Green caught behind. Green out for 14, and this kid's not green at all. He is delivering big time on the big stage.
And to fight back from those 4s, those 3 deliveries were nowhere near each other, and I think that's led to Green's dismissal, where he got to hit one through point, whip one off the toes. That was a good ball. That was a very good ball. That's almost off stump or 4 stump line, but the length was bringing him forward, a little bit of shape. I mean, you're a fast bowling coach, Rhino. You'd love your bowlers to bowl there 80% of the time.
Yeah, 90% of the time. That was beautiful. I think that actually bounced a bit more, where we just saw a couple before not get through and bounce before the keeper. But as you say, the composure to be hit for 2 boundaries, to come back. We just talked about the frustration that sometimes you feel. He obviously didn't have that and put the ball in a beautiful spot and off Cam Green trots.
So that's different than Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith caught on the crease playing away from his body. I don't think Cam Green could have done much differently.
Maybe left it, yeah. But again, it's that line where shouldn't I, which is the doubt that you want to create. I said 90%, as I said, mentioned before, 90% of the time, if you're doing that, you're getting lots of wickets and asking lots of questions.
It's the applause for the local hero, Travis Head, who wanders his way out to the middle, and we're all still a bit stunned, to be honest. But the kid can play. Shamar Joseph can play.
He definitely can play. He's, as Flem and I were just discussing then, you get hit for not a bad shot. It wasn't necessarily a bad ball, the first boundary through backward point. He made the change. He went a little bit straight, got hit through the leg side. Times there you can be frustrated, but he's obviously got a good mind on him.
There's a bit of Jamal about this, isn't there? He debuted, got 6 for, and had a brilliant all-round series. And the series needs this, but that is good. That is just a good delivery at test level. And as Ryan Harris said, 90% of the time, you don't have to be express pace. If you bowl over the top, you're in the 130s, you're going to get wickets.
3 for 67, Australia, after the West Indies made 188, and Head allows it to pass through to the keeper. Watchful, pretty good delivery to end a wicket taking over. 4-4 wicket dot to end that over. 3 for 67 for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Crispy, juicy chicken, bacon, cheese, tomato with signature sauce. New McCrispy Bacon Deluxe. Macca's next big bacon-y thing. Get yours today.
The Australian Open, the biggest matches called live right here on SEN.
Don't let your business get caught behind this year. Sign up your next apprentice or trainee with MEGT and get some runs on the board. Call the experts today on 13MEGT or visit MEGT.com.au.
One delivery left. It was deemed a no ball, that last delivery, so he's in and it's turned on the onside. Big shout of no when it's sent back. Travis said he was pretty keen to get off the mark. He got halfway down and Usman screamed at him, and he made it pretty apparent Usman wasn't interested at all. So that is the official end of the over after that last delivery that I thought was the end of the over was a no ball. Toyota Hilux scoreboard, the unbreakable connection. Australia 3 for 68 as it stands with that no ball added to the tally. Travis Head out there yet to get off the mark. Usman Khawaja still on the overnight 30.
Very late call then by umpire Menon just to call that. Obviously he gets the call from upstairs these days, don't they? They have the camera on the foot. But just watching the replays of that last over from Joseph, there wasn't a lot of difference in length, bar the one that went through the leg side. But he just made the adjustment in line that got the ball a little bit closer to the off stump, which enticed Green into a nice sort of forward defence that he nicked.
So Alzari Joseph now into Khawaja, and he bowls short, whizzes it past his chin through to the keeper.
West Indies need Alzari to come to the party now, because the youngster on debut is ripping it up, getting wickets for fun. That looked a little bit extra pace and bounce, didn't it?
136 that one. The first over didn't get 132. So
yeah,
he's loose. He's loosened up.
He should be able to get into 140s. Usman's the massive wicket, isn't it? Because then you're just getting pure stroke players out into the middle. But Usman just wants to blunt this attack.
So dueling Josephs at the moment. Shamar at one end and now Zari into Usman now, who half played and then left it through to the keeper.
That's nice. That's a nice length.
3 for 68, eh?
There's natural variation in this pitch too. Like that, the first one whacked into De Silva's gloves, the West Indian wicketkeeper, and then that one barely got to him. When you're batting, you can't trust it.
I'm just wondering if they're too far back. It seems to be more one bounce to the keeper at the moment than getting through. It's definitely the natural variations there.
Sun shining down on Alzari Joseph in. Khawaja pushes defensively, gets the big scream of weight as it bounces its way to gully. Still stays at 3 for 68.
Yeah, well bowled. You want to get bat on ball there. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, De Silva, the keeper, needs to be regulating.
Seems to be a lot bouncing, doesn't it?
But he needs to regulate where the slips.
That's right.
And they're dictated where he stands.
Correct.
And the red kookaburra ball, once it gets softer, it just naturally bounces less.
Yeah.
3 dots to start this Alzari Joseph over. Khawaja waits, forced to play. Back foot, quickly through for a single. Scampers through, was defensive back foot shot dropped on the onside, so they get through for 1. Usman heads to 31, his first run of the day. This day 2, by the way. Australia won the toss yesterday, sent the West Indies in, all out for 188. At one stage they looked like being all out for 130 odd. 55 run last wicket stand got them to 188, and given Australia's now 3 for 69 with Smith out for 12, Labuschagne out for 10 and Green out for 14. We've got a game. Early stages day 2.
Well, this is going to be fascinating. Now we know Travis Head won't die wondering. He likes playing his shots, doesn't he? So and we see straight away that the West Indies have brought in a short leg, put a man back on the deep square boundary and a leg gully. So intentions are clear.
And we know he does look uncomfortable against the short ball, but if you bowl a bad one, he makes you pay.
He'll hit it. Absolutely.
And it is his backyard, Travis Head. So Alzari Joseph with the ball in hand. Travis Head about to see him for the first time. Yet to get off the mark. And rocks back on the back foot. Defensively pushes it away. Doesn't get off the mark.
He'll want some runs too, Travis Head. It's been a bit bare this summer. Hasn't really affected the overall team performance because of the dominance over Pakistan, but they need his runs. And this is almost set up for a classic Travis Head.
Absolutely.
Often these hundreds are match-winning hundreds, aren't they, when Australia's in trouble?
Yeah.
Pretty good crowd in for a 10:15 Thursday morning here at the Adelaide Oval after 26,000 here yesterday. Alzari Joseph in, and Travis Head caught high on the splice there. He was playing off the back foot. He kept it out, and that was the main thing for him. He stays at the crease without a run. Khawaja 31, Toyota Hilux scoreboard. Australia 3 for 69.
Looking for a leading supplier of plumbing fittings? A company that is Australian owned and operated with over 30 years experience, providing local support that's second to none from facilities across Australia. Holman Plumbing is a full range supplier of PVC fittings to the trade market. They also pride themselves on bringing innovative products and solutions to the industry by designing and investing in new tooling and products for their customers. View the full range of PVC plumbing supplies at holmanplumbing.com.au.
The story of the test so far. Shamar Joseph, 3 for 27. His figures on debut with the ball in hand. About to send it down to Usman Khawaja, 31 not out. 3 slips Gully in place. Point edges back a little further with Usman on strike. Shamar Joseph in. Usman squared up a little and pushed out to point. No addition to the score.
He's found his range now, hasn't he, Joseph? Shamar Joseph. Definitely asking questions.
It was interesting that one hit through the leg side. I thought that was a half volley, but that was that same length you're talking about. So his length is fantastic. Yeah. It's just adjusting his line.
Just the line. Just seeing on the screens now the difference in the Steve Smith Cameron Green ball, which was length very similar. Just the line to Green was
tighter.
Yeah.
Replays for Titanium Caravans, built tough, and this one's allowed through to the keeper. But his confidence, we talked about it yesterday, he showed so much confidence with the bat. He got hit on the helmet, nearly had his chin taken off at one stage, but he still loved every second of being out there. There wasn't the 10 minutes of, I better change my helmet, see if the dent's big enough, have we got another one, do I get a check for a concussion? There was none of that. It was simply, no, I'm right, let's get on with it.
Yeah, just going to play cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, thumbs
different
up,
venue.
Yeah.
Test match. Bring it on. 26,000 people.
He did not back away. He was brilliant with the bat and then came out with the ball and showed that that's his craft, and he's even more confident with the red cherry. And he's in again now, having already taken a wicket this morning. Khawaja on strike, and he tries to turn it on the onside, but doesn't whip it off his pads through to the keeper. Still 3 for 69.
Getting speeds into the 140s now.
Just find that fascinating. Then he just swapped from around the wicket to over the wicket. I thought he was honing in on a really good spot with Khawaja there.
Yeah.
Why change? Unless there's a plan for it.
Unless he's going to bowl a bounce of this ball, he's got two
He's got
out.
two back, yeah. Khawaja does play it.
It's a harder angle to hook from if you bowl a good one.
Trip Labuschagne into doing that yesterday. He's in, and Khawaja allows it through to the keeper.
I saw Marnus this morning. I had a chat with him out in the middle on the way as he was walking to the change rooms and asked him about it. He's quite skinny, and he felt there was 2 balls before which was a similar length that he sort of got in behind, and he said that one he got out on was just got on him quicker. It was that fraction shorter, and he said only a fraction, but it got onto him and it felt like he's right off his nose, and he said it was a good bouncer. It just skidded onto him a lot quicker than the previous 2 balls.
That's the art of bowling bounces, isn't it?
Joseph in, bounces Khawaja, who ducks out of the way. Damien Fleming on cue.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right tactic right now when they're on top. I like what Ryan Harris said. You're working him from around the wicket. What happens there is the left-hander's always a bit unsure where their off stump is, and they'll often play at deliveries they don't need to. And you can still have a look upstairs with 2 out.
Now it's his ball. This is the follow-up, isn't it? That's the important one. After bowling that bouncer, which didn't get up too high.
Khawaja wasn't interested in trying to hook it. Joseph in, Khawaja defensive, pushes forward, so that was essentially on the money end of the over. 3 for 69 for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Get on the right road to retirement with Aware Super. With super advice and super returns, Aware Super is super helpful. More at aware.com.au and read the PDS and TMD.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SEN.
In-place living. Design and develop customised specialist disability accommodation, valuing inclusivity, innovation and compassion. Because beautiful homes should support independence and choice for Australians with disability. To learn more, visit inplaceliving.com.au.
First session of day 2 brought to you by MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, and Alzari Joseph in. Flash of the bat from Travis Head, didn't get an edge. Luckily for him, Well, had he got an edge, it might have either gone over the top of slips for 4 or being caught, but he remains at the creases. We have a change, and our experts for in-place living specialist disability accommodation designed for you, Bharat Sundaresan, has joined Damien Fleming and I.
Morning, Dwayne. Flem, good to see you.
How are you?
Very good. It's interesting cricket. Shamar Joseph just can't do anything wrong at the moment.
Alzari Joseph, see if he can do similar. And Head pushes on the offside, gets himself a single to cover. He's off the mark, Travis Head. Big round of applause from the maybe 15,000 in early here at the Adelaide Oval on a Thursday. I saw the broadcaster Fox panning the crowd a little earlier on. Always the nervous moment if you've taken a sickie and you're in the crowd and the boss happens to be watching at home or at work.
Just get yourself out the back. Just early on at least, please, Dwayne. You might bump into your boss.
That's a very good point. You're both sick. Yeah. Thought you had a broken leg. Yeah, I thought you lost an eye. Alzari Joseph in. This one's pulled. And pulled beautifully by Khawaja all the way to the boundary for 4. And he did this yesterday, Osman Khawaja. He looked a little rusty early. Had a catch put down, so was lucky to be there. But then when he got his eye in, he looked superb. And he moves to 35 now with Australia 3 for 74.
Yeah, it's a classic Usman Khawaja pull shot. That he doesn't want to be overcommit coming forward, but he sweats on anything short, square of the wicket.
Damien Fleming said, over to you, Alzari Joseph, to respond at your end. He's into Khawaja, outside half of the bat, bounced in front of third slip. He gets away with it.
Every time he bowls that length, Flem, he just looks so dangerous. Just that he hasn't been able to bowl it as consistently as maybe even Sharma or Joseph has.
Yeah, it's just a good length. You get rewarded. It's not easy. I don't think batsmen feel like they can drive in the V. There is some inconsistent bounce. So, yeah, I don't think you need to provide too much variation at your end. Surprised that wasn't called a no ball.
It was.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Okay, there you go. So there's been a couple of those this morning. Alzari Joseph into Khawaja again, and Khawaja allows it through to the keeper. Keeper took it millimetres from the grass before it bounced a second time. So again, as Damien Fleming was mentioning earlier, maybe De Silva needs to edge in a step or half a step, and then the slips will follow him in.
I guess he's still battling the demons of having dropped that catch. Yeah. Got into such an awkward position yesterday.
At least he caught one early today. Didn't put Cam Green down. That would have been devastating for them. Alzari Joseph in. Khawaja squared up a little, pokes it on the onside defensively. 3 for 75 it remains.
Yeah, I think the early wicket of Green, though, does open the game up in a way with Travis Head out there. Mitchell Marsh to come after this. The game will move.
And if Alzari Joseph can get that one wicket to get his confidence up, maybe it's a changer for him as well, because Kumar Roach didn't really...
No, he looks like a holding bowler these days, Kumar Roach.
Alzari Joseph in. Khawaja waits, defensive again, end of the over. Brought to us by Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection. Australia 3-4-75.
Just going to grab some more beers. Pause it for me? No way, mate. We're not pausing live sport. He's about to get his ton. Nah, it'll be all right. Oh, what? Oh, no. Did I miss it? Come on, mate. You got to rewind it, please.
Oh, not a chance, mate. You can catch it on the highlights reel.
You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
One Macca's catch so far today. Macca's catch of the summer. Hit hunger for 6 with the Aussie Angus Deluxe at Macca's. De Silva taking the catch off the bowling of Shamar Joseph to remove Cameron Green for 14. The 1 wicket to fall today. Last night, Steve Smith out for 12. Marnus Labuschagne out for 10. Khawaja at the non-striker's end, 35. And Head, the fresh batsman, on 1 on strike as Shamar Joseph has the ball in hand and he's on his way in. And Head watchful from the crease and a few oohs and ahs that hurried on him a little. He kept it out.
That's that inconsistent bounce, isn't it? And that's the length you're talking about. Not sure whether to come forward or back. We haven't seen a lot of LB shouts, funny enough, on a green pitch like this. But coming over the wicket, he's definitely thinking, well, I don't want to give Travis Head any room. I can go upstairs because I've got protection if he hits in the air on the short side, but also coming over the wicket, LBW definitely comes into play.
So one slip in and a leg slip, and he bounces him. And easy for Travis Head to get his head out of the way. So one slip gully and a leg slip for Shamar Joseph.
Hasn't bowled a good bounce to a lefty yet. Bowled a really good one to Marnus.
He hasn't bowled a lot to the left-handers, has he? Even last night, didn't bowl a lot to Usman Khawaja. It was mainly to the right-handers.
And 2 men on the boundary. One a square leg, one a deep backward square. Shamar Joseph to Travis Head again. Pushes defensively back down the pitch, and he gives him a little stare back, Shamar, which was nice.
Oh, he's just enjoying everything he's doing out there. You'll appreciate this flip. He literally travels. I've seen him around the traps, even in town. Always has a ball in his hand, a new ball. Sleeps with a new ball. There's a ball next to him. He just, because had never played with a cricket ball till 2 years ago, so.
Coming around the wicket now.
See, the change of angle works for him. Travis Head waits, and he does pull this, and he pulls it along the deck for one. But he got him to play the shot that he was hoping he'd play. It's just that Travis Head was equal to it and rolled it along the ground.
Yeah, it's a field we've seen a lot of teams use to Travis early on in his innings. And he will take you on. Seen it in Shield cricket, international cricket, the leg slip in. Interesting how deep that short leg is, though.
So changing the field now, 3 slips and a gully for Usman Khawaja on strike to Shamar Joseph in, and he tried to get it between his Sanchu and bat to bowl him, but it was kept out by Khawaja, but not convincingly. A few more oohs and ahs. Khawaja's 35. Was dropped on, I think, 1 or 2. Travis Head 2. And a beautiful morning at the moment here in Adelaide for day 2. Joseph in, and Khawaja pushes on the onside, gets it for a single to mid-wicket before it's fielded. But they were able to scurry through for the one, and that's the end of the over for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection. The Aussies 3 for 77.
Need to entertain the kids these school holidays? Escape to the movies with Migration, the funny and heartwarming adventure the whole family will enjoy. Migration, only in cinemas now.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
Welcome to Officer Fields, your new home in Melbourne's southeast. Land now selling from $467,000. Officer Fields, life as it should be. Register your interest now at officerfields.com.au.
Only celebrated the 1 wicket so far today, thanks to Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives, the wicket of Cameron Green. Out for 14, caught behind off the bowling of Shamar Joseph. It's Alzari Joseph bowling now to Usman Khawaja on strike. He allows it through to the keeper again, with Australia 3 for 77 after the West Indies posted 188.
Yeah, it's just trying to build some pressure here. And I just feel like Alzari Joseph needs that wicket. Still don't feel like he's hitting the crease like he was last year. He bowled with real pace and fire, didn't he?
And he's a credit to West Indies cricket, really. I mean, at a time when so many have turned their back on red ball, really plays all formats. He's not had a break at all, Flem. Like from the time he came here and played those 2 tests, had to lead the attack after Kemar Roach broke down in the first innings in Perth.
A slight change of angle then, as he's into Khawaja again around the wicket. Khawaja pushes on the onside, but no addition to the score.
And you're right, even the follow-through doesn't seem to have that energy that it did last year.
Yeah, I just felt like he had more momentum through the crease. It looks like he's leaving everything to just that last effort. I'm sure he was in the 140s.
Yeah, hit the high 140s a couple of times yesterday in his first spell.
Around the wicket still to Khawaja, who waits, turns him back at a square off his hip for a single, brings Travis Head on strike. Khawaja adds another to his total, moves to 37.
Yeah, I don't think coming around the wicket's the option with that field. If he gets too straight, it's too easy to work through the leg side. Back over. I think it's worth having a crack now. How many balls left? 3. Let's go short at the body. Let's just be hostile. Let's take Travis, see if Travis Head will take you on. They're putting out even a catcher at third man, and we've seen Travis caught there numerous times in his career.
So 2 men on the boundary for the hook. Leg slip, essentially, or a little bit further back than that now.
Deep points there. So
wow. They are spread here. Just the one slip in. Short leg in as well. So the plan seems fairly obvious. Joseph in, and it is flown out, that delivery down the leg side. I thought for a second he might have got a tickle of glove through to the keeper, but no.
Typed, I think, but it sounded very clicky.
Yeah.
And it went through.
That is a way of getting a wicket, actually. A little bit of a long hop down the leg side. But no, he's got to get it straighter and quicker and bouncier at the body, hasn't he?
Yeah, if he does get a reasonable portion of bat or glove on that, it's not just taken by the keeper, it's the leg slip waiting there for that exact shot. But Travis Head obviously is aggressive, and he leaves this. He gave it some thought. It was there to pull if he wanted to, but he thought better of it. Through to the keeper, a dot, and the field continues to adjust here. So the setup is there for Travis Head's aggression. Travis Head, that's his mode, so they know it. He knows it. So it's a game of cat and mouse.
You just feel like it's set up for a quick that's bowling a bit faster than this, though, don't you? It hasn't been hostile.
Well, this might be the last delivery of this spell for Alzari Joseph. Let's see what he does with it. Travis Head on strike, in short, and Head just sways out the way and says, no, not having a play with that. An unbreakable connection, the Toyota Hilux. End of the over, change of commentary. It'll be Adam White coming in. Australia 3 for 78.
G'day again. We're still quite slow coming off the Ring Road, Altona bound. Getting onto the Westgate Freeway as you head towards Grieve Parade due to the ongoing roadworks. Heavy outbound Westgate too. She's capped. It's from Willie to Grievous, and then heavy out towards the Cooroy Creek Road off-ramp on the Princes. Taking off and looking for a deal. Nothing beats the value car park at Melbourne Airport from just $12 a day. Book online for the best rates at melbourneairport.com.au. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
For Host Plus and Henley Homes, build with confidence. SEN Test cricket from the Adelaide Oval with Australia 3 for 78. Shamar Joseph to continue from the Cathedral end. He bowls to Khawaja, who is beaten, trying the big drive down the ground. The bottom hand came off the bat. He really tried to hit that hard and very nearly edged it through to the keeper, Bharat Sundaresan.
That was pretty wild from Usman Khawaja, just indicating that it did jag away from him, and it jagged away from him appreciably, as you can see on the replay. Off the pitch, it's a very loose drive from Usman Khawaja. He would not want to get out that way.
No, looking at the replay for Titanium Caravans Built Tough, you're exactly right. It definitely seemed away from Khawaja. 3 slips and a gully in play still. Big gaps through the offside, and that's what Khawaja saw. Trying to play that drive. Joseph again bowls. Khawaja drives this time nicely through the covers. It'll just be a single. Off the bat, I thought he timed it a little bit better than what he ultimately did. He moves to 38 to score 3 for 79 on the Tyre Power scoreboard, your tyre experts.
Just a little fuller this time from Joseph, so Khawaja managed to get some bat on it, but yeah, still the bat kind of turned in his hand. It squeezed it into the cover region. Interesting feel. Something we've become accustomed to, something Travis Head has become accustomed to.
Yes, it is an interesting field considering Travis is only on 2.
Yeah.
4 on the fence. All square of the wicket. Shamar Joseph bowls to Head, who plays it off his hip along the ground out to deep backward square leg for a single. I'm not sure whether Travis Head is going to stop playing the hook shot or the cut shot, even though there are 4 out on the fence for it. He's just got to do what he did then and roll the wrists and keep the ball on the ground.
Yeah, I think what could be tricky is because there's been so much uneven bounce on this pitch, I almost see the big threat for Travis Head might not be the high bouncer, but a short ball that kind of keeps low. And he sort of gets under it and risks getting a top edge.
Shamar Joseph changing the field. So that last ball then was 141.9 for Mate Internet and Mobile. So we heard in the build-up that he could get to 150.
Yep.
We've sort of seen low 140s. It's actually been Alzari Joseph that's got the ball up near 150 in this match. Shamar Joseph here to Khawaja. Late decision to leave. That customary Khawaja where he takes the bottom hand off the bat and just sort of waves the bat with his top hand, letting it go through.
Like a wand.
That's right.
But just his lengths have been so good for someone playing the first test match. He's still, I mean, yes, his spell was broken up by stumps, but it's still his first spell of bowling in Test cricket.
And it was a long spell yesterday, and again starting today, his last 2 balls have been his fastest 2 for the entire match. From the Cathedral end, he again bowls to Khawaja. That's wide of the off stump, full, tempting the drive. Khawaja not interested.
Yeah, but he's been able to build a bit of pressure on the Australian batters because of the lengths he's bowled, and he's been able to do that a lot more consistently than the 2, or at least one veteran in Kemar Roach and Alzari Joseph, who's looked a little flat today. Thought he bowled really well yesterday.
He did, I agree with you. And I agree with you on today. He's almost not the same bowler. He did come to the ground quite late. I was quite surprised how late he came to the ground. Shamar Joseph bowls here to Khawaja, hooks it away through mid-wicket, out into open territory. There's a chase. And it's well fielded, just inside the field of play there by Moti. And there'll be just the 2 runs to complete the over there. So Australia 3 for 82, Head on 3. Khawaja now up to 40 on the Toyota Hilux scoreboard, an unbreakable connection.
The King Living Summer Sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on selected Australian-designed indoor and outdoor furniture. Sale ends soon. Visit your nearest King Living showroom today.
The Australian Open, the biggest matches called live right here on SEN.
Enjoy New Year. New savings on Nissan Navara and X-Trail models in stock right now at Berwick Nissan. Plus, get amazing finance rates with Nissan Future Value. Go see Adam and the team at Berwick Nissan Kangan Drive, Berwick. T's and C's apply. LMCT 8760.
For Host Plus and Henley Homes, build with confidence. SEN Test cricket from the Adelaide Oval with Australia 3 for 82. The man out today, Cameron Green, caught behind for 14. Shamar Joseph, another one. He's got all 3. With Khawaja on 40, Head on 3. And Travis Head, he's on strike. 3 on the fence. With Alzari Joseph bowling, and Head is playing off the back foot, jumping, steering it backward of point, out towards the rope. Good fielding to keep the ball in play. But they'll come back for 2. That's not Kemar Roach down there, is it? Running around like a 21-year-old?
It is Shamar Joseph. And
it is Shamar Joseph.
One thing you will notice, I noticed this during the warm-up game. For a fast bowler, young fast bowler, he does seem to struggle throwing the ball in. You can see he kind of bowled it in.
That's why I thought it was Kemar Roach.
Yeah, Courtney Walsh style, because every time he threw a ball in during that warm-up game, he immediately clutched his shoulder. So not sure if it's throwing technique or we get Ryan Harrison next. We can ask him about it.
Alzari Joseph over the wicket, bowls to Head, inside edge onto the body, and then it balloons in the air for a fraction towards gully. It fell short in the end, but for a moment there, it looked a bit iffy for Head, who's still on 5. Still overcast conditions here at Adelaide Oval. We've seen the sun poke through a couple of times, but generally speaking, we've been under cloud. No hint of rain. Sort of temperature in the low 20s at the moment, at best. Alzari Joseph again bowls. A good bouncer. Head had to get out of the way of that one. Just swaying back, watching it go through at eye level. And that really smashed into the gloves of De Silva.
I think that's the best bouncer he's bowled this morning anyway.
136.5 thanks to my internet and mobile. That ball and a bouncer to be that speed, that's a good one.
Just a couple of Guyanese cricketers speaking to each other on the boundary.
Alzari Joseph from the river end, past the umpire, bowls to Head, tries to cut and misses. There is a massive gap for him to play the cut shot if he was to get it at square or in front of square, and he knows that. And he put everything into that one, as he often does.
And immediately indicated to Usman Khawaja maybe he should have gone under the ball and kind of just played an uppercut to it rather than try the more conventional Travis Head square cut, which, like you said, Whitey throws everything at it.
He does.
Every part of his body seems to move towards the ball.
That's right. Alzari Joseph again bowls to Head, who plays it just off the back foot, punching it through that point region, just a single. Out to Shamar Joseph in the deep, and he underarms it back in then, so something clearly is an issue. Yes, we think of Travis Head as that saying he throws the kitchen sink at it, and he throws the dishwasher, the oven, the microwave, and all sorts of things at it as well when he goes to catch up. The air fryer. I bought an air fryer for my mum and dad for Christmas. I thought it was a good present.
Oh yeah, I think
that was but they looked at it like it was some sort of foreign object. They weren't sure.
I think you're either an air fryer person or you're not. It's one thing I've learned in life.
Alzari Joseph to Khawaja, back and across, defending into the covers, and that completes the over. Australia 3 for 85, and that is on the Toyota Hilux scoreboard, an unbreakable connection.
Are you a tradie, corporate or work roadside and looking for quality workwear that gets the job done right the first time? Worklocker, Carrum Downs and Pakenham have all the best brands you're looking for, including FXD, Steel Blue, Cat, Bisley, Hard Yakka, King G, Blunston, Mongrel and heaps more. They also provide in-house embroidery and digital printing for full control of your uniform orders. Worklocker, Carrum Downs and Pakenham. Unlocked, stocked and full of value workwear for wherever you work. Visit worklocker.com.au. Worklocker.
SEN Test Cricket for host Plus and Henley Holmes. Build with confidence. We're at the Adelaide Oval with Australia 3 for 85, and we are seeing a change in the bowling at the Cathedral end. Kemar Roach will have a bowl. There's also a Bundaberg ginger beer commentary change with Ian Smith coming in for the first time today. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Smithy.
All right. What have you thought of the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's been good, actually. I thought the West Indies have bowled quite tidily. They've got plans, obviously. The Travis Head plan has been pretty well described. And now it's up to Kemar Roach to see if he can find us some pace that he didn't have yesterday. Can't find any rhythm because he pulled out of his first run-up.
He's, throughout his career, this is something he's been good at, hasn't he, Smithy? But coming around the wicket to left-handers, getting the ball to straight in from that angle. And to Kemar Roach, because of the lack of pace, I don't think they're going short ball ploy. So a different approach to Travis Head.
So straight away around the wicket, Roach to Head, who's back and across, defending up to mid-on, and there's no run. Have you got an air fryer at home, Man Smith?
Have, actually.
What do you think of it?
Oh, I think anything that cooks food's good.
And quickly too.
Yeah, sooner the better.
So are you one of those who you're ready to throw whatever you want to in the air fryer? Okay.
You get quite extravagant, do you? Sort of really cook up a stew.
Well, let's get this straight. I don't use it.
Roach again around the wicket to Head, who climbs into this one and smashes it through the covers for 4. Along the ground, There is a cover in place, but he was nothing more than a spectator watching it go past him to his left and out to the boundary for 4. Head into double figures. He's to 10. Australia 3 for 89.
Yeah, no surprises that the sun has suddenly broken through. It's a sign of summer in Adelaide when Travis Head smashes the ball through the offside. It's generally a cut shot, just a little bit of width and just full ball floated up there by Kemar Roach. And as he does, he threw his hands at it. Head.
Still 3 slips in play. Roach again to Head, who's up on his toes, this time trying to force, but can't beat it off. No run.
Beautifully said. Floated up. And that's exactly what it was. It was floated up. And the West Indies cannot afford Kemar Roach to float the ball up to the Australian batsman. He should be inspired what he's seen from Shamar Joseph. He should be inspired by the fact that in the first half hour they got things right. He can't just amble in and dish it up around about 127, 128. Undo all the good work.
Roach again past the umpire, bowls to Head, who's squared up, defending up to mid-on on this occasion. Let's have a look at the speed here on this delivery from Roach, because the last one was 124, that one 128, thanks to my internet and mobile.
It's such a big moment in this test for them. This is where Travis Head has come out in the last 2 years and taken games away. He's broken games, if anything, by playing the way he does. They cannot let him get away.
Yes, he's on 10, waiting for Roach. Roach bowls it brilliant, gets a wicket. Somehow he didn't inside edge that onto the stumps. Head deciding late to try and play through the covers. Got himself in a jam at the crease and very nearly was walking off.
Poor shot from Travis Head, looking to replicate the shot through the covers, but it was a totally different length, and he got his feet into such an awkward position. He was very lucky. He chopped it down onto his back heel, and it just did not roll onto leg stump for the West Indies' sake.
Ooh. I just wonder if it didn't hit his heel, Smithy. Looking at the replay for Titanium Caravans built tough, that would have gone onto the stumps. Roach again to Head, who steers this one forward of square leg off the back foot for 4. Nothing wrong with that shot. The last one might have been a bit dodgy, not that one. Terrific shot from Head, up to 14. Australia 3 for 93 on the 2-0 Hilux scoreboard, an unbreakable connection at the end of the over.
Since 1977, Club X has been the place for the widest range of adult products, like the Magic Touch, now available in-store and online at clubx.com.au.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SEN.
100% Aussie Angus beef, melty cheese, chunky tomato relish and U-Butte beetroot. The Aussie Angus Deluxe is back at Macca's. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yum, yum, yum. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
There was a bit of calypso cricket, Ian Smith, in that shot there from Travis Head.
Well, I've been working with Brian Lara the last couple of days. There's a little bit of Brian Lara.
Wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Now, this is interesting. Justin Greaves comes into the attack. Don't know Bharat too much about him as a bowler.
Yeah, he used to bowl a lot quicker in his early days. He's originally from Barbados. He's done the rounds. He's a bit of a journeyman cricketer. But he'll hit the mid-120s.
So his first ball in Test cricket is a good one. It hits the glove of Usman Khawaja. It kind of stood up a little bit as Khawaja tried to play away on the onside, and he's wringing his left hand. Nice start.
Wasn't the quickest of deliveries, but that kind of jumped on him. I'm surprised that Usman Khawaja was rushed by that delivery, Smithy.
Nice seam-up delivery. Hits the seam, deviates, but does bounce. It's got a... Well, I only seen one delivery, but quite a nice little whippy action, actually.
Graves again from the river end. Past the umpire, bowls to Khawaja. That's wide of the off stump. Full, wide, and Khawaja doesn't bother.
I remember seeing him in the warm-up game. He bowled one spell before the lunch break, and it looked like watching Nathan Astle bowl. Then he came back after lunch. And
in other words, he was very impressive and quick. Is that what he said?
Hit the bat hard.
And he came back
heavy ball.
See you in Christchurch, brother.
But he came back after the break.
Graves again. Past the umpire, bowls, and Khawaja leaves the ball across the left-hander.
Yeah, there's a bit of Chris Pringle about him. Sorry, I just had to come up with another New Zealand bowler. And I didn't watch a lot of him, but is he a little like Eldine Baptiste?
Might be.
Yeah. Similar kind of cricketer, wasn't he?
Eldine Baptiste was sneaky quick. And then all of a sudden he would have his time in the sun. I mean, he was back up, wasn't he, to so many great bowlers at the time, but every now and then he got his chance on the lookout.
Graves again over the wicket, bowls to Khawaja, who'll get a single, nudging it off his thigh pad down to fine leg. And he moves along to 41. The score 3 for 94 on the Tyre Power scoreboard, your tyre experts.
Yeah, like I said, he's originally from Barbados. He's 29 years old, so he's had to wait a long time to get that Test debut. He went and spent some time playing for the Windward Islands, and then moved his base to the Leeward Islands. The Leeward Islands, of course, consist of Antigua and some of those Eastern Caribbean nations. Windward or Dominica.
Graves now going around the wicket to Travis Head, and Head thought about it and decided not to play the big cover drive, watched it go through. So let's have a look at the speeds here for Graves. Sort of that low 120s at the moment, so it's gentle to say the least on the main internet and mobile stat sheet. Travis Head, 2,999 Test runs. We saw Marnus Labuschagne get his 4,000th run yesterday. Graves bowls to Head, who again decides to let it go through outside the off stump. Over bowl, 3 for 94. Justin Graves has his first over in the book in Test cricket. It is the Tyre Power scoreboard, your local tyre experts, 3 for 94.
Hidden Gems of Melbourne. Prince Wine Store in Bank Street, South Melbourne. Wine Enthusiast magazine has voted Prince Wine Store in the top 10 iconic wine stores in the world. The only store in the Southern Hemisphere to be chosen. Up to 4,000 wine lines, all wine regions of the world, from $10 to $10,000. You'll find the perfect wine at Prince Wine Store, bringing Melburnians the greatest wine in the world. Delivering Australia-wide, princewinestore.com.au.
Kemar Roach on the approach again from the Cathedral end. He bowls to Khawaja, who defends away on the offside, and there's no run.
Isn't this so Khawaja? We interviewed him on Fox this morning, and he said, I can't quite get this pitch yet, so I've just got to continue to be out there. I haven't worked out whether it's my kind of pitch or whether I'm in or whether I'm not in, but the one thing about him is that he doesn't give it away. And it might not be easy pitch to bat on, but it won't change his attitude.
Roach again around the wicket, bowls to Khawaja, gets the hook shot, and on the bounce he plays it into forward square leg. He didn't play it badly, but didn't quite get it out of the middle.
He's the kind of opening batsman you just love to have in your team. It really is. And Australia got to get used to the fact, and Australian fans have got to get used to the fact that they're going to score as quickly as they used to. There's no David Warner. They're going to have Steve Smith, who likes to get in and hates getting out. So he preserves his wicket. Therefore, he takes very little risk. David Warner was a risk player. Risk reward.
Roach again, bowls to Khawaja. Good ball, and Khawaja leaves this one. That was one that could have easily been driven. Not quite a half volley. It was not far away from off stump, but Khawaja was happy to let it go.
In fact, it's such a different dynamic, right, Smithy? The top four, all four of them, including Cam Green, to bat time. They have all the shots in the world, but they are batters who like to build their innings slowly, spend as much time as they can out there.
Roach again on the runway. Past the umpire, bowls to Khawaja, who's squared up in defence, playing back to the bowl. And I guess, Smithy, you've got Khawaja, who's just so calm and serene at the crease, and there's all the chaos of Travis Head and Mitch Marsh. There's all the twitching and fidgeting of Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne. Khawaja just does his thing.
He just does his thing. He seems to... I mean, we know from his character that he cares about what happens around the world outside of the game of cricket. So he's a deep thinker about life in general.
Roach again approaches. Khawaja nudging into the onside, up to mid-on. There's no run.
He's a very considered man. And I see that in the way that he bats as well. He's very considered in his approach. He will do it his own way. He won't be influenced by the opinion of others. He makes up his mind about something and he stands for it. And I think you can, in a weird sort of a way, if you put a cricketing parlance onto that, you can see it in the way he plays.
Roach again on the way. Bowls to Khawaja, who again is playing to mid-on, thinking about a single and then deciding against it. So that's a maiden over there from Kumar Roach. On the Tyre Power scoreboard, your tyre experts, Australia 3 for 94.
Wouldn't you rather be driving the #1 selling vehicle in Australia, Ford Ranger? Discover all the reasons why the Ranger is Australia's favourite. Only at your local Ford dealer.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
Liberty Home Loans hit different. They're for the free thinkers, the go-getters and the creatives. So if you're a free thinker, you'll be right at home. Liberty, loans for free thinkers. Visit liberty.com.au. That's how we want.
Approved applicants only. Lending criteria apply.
This first session on day 2 is thanks to MEGT. Test what's possible with an apprentice or trainee from MEGT. Graves to continue around the wicket to Travis Head. Wide on the crease. Ooh. Head's beaten. As he tried to force on the offside, that's the ball that's been troubling him at times through the Pakistan series. The one that comes back in and jams him. Good ball from Graves.
He never moved his feet. Not one iota did he move his feet at all there. And I'm not quite sure why he was remonstrating at all, because he just went nowhere.
It's like they were nailed to the turf.
It's just like... That's an old Adelaide Oval type shot, when you could trust the bounce, you'd trust everything about the quality of the surface. That's not this one.
Graves again, also wide on the crease. Head swings into this one, over cover, out towards the boundary, and it makes it. It wasn't quite out of the middle of the bat, but it's 4 all the same for Azito all day, every day.
Well, that's a great way of describing it, Smithy. Travis Head is trying to bat like it is the old Adelaide Oval, the Adelaide Oval pitch that he's used to, where you can trust the bounce, the pace, and just hit on the up.
And that is the 3,000th run for Travis Head in Test cricket for Mate Internet and Mobile. And he brought it up with a customary boundary through the offside. Graves again bowls to Head, who thought about the cut shot and then decided against it. It was very wide.
1882.
1882.
Yeah, 1882. If I say 1882, what does that mean to you?
Something I probably should know that I don't.
Well, of course you should know it. You're a cricket commentator. 1882. It's the last time in the 4 test matches in Australia that only 100 individual 100 had been scored.
Wow.
1882.
Graves bowls. Head tries to drive. No timing the shot up to mid-off.
See, I was thinking about it last night. I was thinking this has been a low-scoring summer.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday.
And so we did a bit of research this morning, and the cricket people came up and said, look, you know, it's 1882. It's the last time that 4 test matches have been played in Australia and only one person has scored 100, David Warner.
On the first day of the first test, and he's now retired.
Correct. So we're on track here. One of these two might go on to break that, but if they don't, 1882.
Well, there you go.
It's a long time, isn't it?
It is a very long time. Graves bowls and Head drives this one nicely up to mid-off to Alzari Joseph, no run.
So then we thought, why? And we thought, what's the nature of the pitches? They've changed, haven't they? I mean, this is a signature pitch for Australian cricket over the years. Adelaide Oval is like... Martin Crowe used to say there's certain days in life, some you can't broadcast on the radio, but one of them was 100 at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah. Graves, last ball of the over, bowls to Head, who smashes it through the offside again. And oh, that's brilliantly fielded. Almost, yes. Well done. I don't know how he did it, but Shamar Joseph kept the ball in the field of play, diving away to his left. He got a hand to it, then he almost bobbled it over the line, but he kept it in. It does bring up the 100 on what will be the last ball before drinks. Australia 3 for 100, Head on 20, Khawaja on 41, as the drinks come onto the field for Bundaberg Ginger Beer, the great Australian brew.
Pioneer
Pioneer Seeds is excited to bring Australian farmers the next big thing in our trusted Y-Series canola hybrids. Optimum Gly is a new third-generation glyphosate tolerance canola trait technology with improved crop safety, superior weed control and greater herbicide application versatility. Contact your local Pioneer rep to choose the right Y-Series Optimum Gly hybrid canola seed for your program. Call 1-800-PIONEER.
The Hyundai SUV sale event is on now. Enjoy a brilliant $2,000 factory bonus on selected Santa Fe and Palisade, plus a great $1,500 factory bonus on the Tucson SUV. Experience our most innovative SUVs, packed with smart sense safety, advanced technology and intuitive design. Hurry, limited time only. Offer on select stock and not applicable on every model. T's and C's apply. Visit your local showroom today. Imagine that. Hyundai.
Bevmarks, the sleep professionals' January sale has 50% off all mattresses and 20% off all furniture, no exceptions. Available at all Bevmarks stores and online.
The Australian Open, the biggest matches called live right here on SEN.
Now presenting the King of Clean, Jenny King.
For 30 years, Jenny King has offered fantastic commercial cleaning franchise opportunities, helping hundreds of Aussies become the king of their own careers.
Jenny King, the King of Clean.
Visit jennyking.com.au.
The Melbourne Beer Fest is back. Experience over 350 unique, exotic and small batch craft beers, ciders and cocktails in over 2 jam-packed sessions, guaranteeing twice the offerings and fun throughout the day, all complemented by the very best in gourmet local street food. With live music day and night, comedy from Nick Cody, Midnight Juggernauts, Daft Punk tribute show and more. It'll be a cracking day out with mates. Melbourne Beer Fest, Kitani Gardens, St Kilda, Saturday, February 24. Tickets on sale at beerfestivals.com.au. Always drink responsibly.
6 not out. Into him. He's forced him in play here. And he gets it between gully and point. Outside half of the bat. It was a beautiful stroke in the end. It rolls its way to the boundary. Shamar Joseph into him again. And he's edged it. And he's out. Unbelievable. Shamar Joseph's done it again. The wicket of Cameron Green. Azari Joseph in. This one's pulled. And pulled beautifully by Khawaja all the way to the boundary for 4.
Roach again's ahead, who steers this one forward of square leg, off the back foot for 4.
3 for 100 Australia. Great to have your company on SEN Test Cricket for Host Plus and Henley Holmes. Build with confidence. Changing commentary for Bundaberg. Ginger Beer, I'm in. Whitey's out. And Ian Smith's still with us. Smithy was talking about 1882 just before we have a chat about what else happened in 1882. P.T. Barnum bought Jumbo, his first
circus.
Elephant,
really?
Back in 1882. And Thomas Edison flicked the switch on the first commercial light power station in the US. So a bit happened in 1882, Smithy. I'm glad you threw that up earlier on. You were thinking cricket, I'm thinking larger world issues. And Simon Kadich is in the house. You went around in 1882 to see all this. Cap, but great to have you in as well.
Good morning, guys.
Smithy's taken us back to cricket in 1882.
Well, 1882, Kat, as you've just joined us, was the last time in Australia in a 4-test summer, right? At least 4 tests that only 100 had been scored.
Wow.
David Warner, Perth, first day. Since then, no one's got a individual 100. And 1882 was the last time over 4 tests, only 100 scored.
Wow.
There you go.
Do you think there's been a reason for that this summer?
Well,
and seeing Khawaja on strike on 41. Motty's been given the ball, and it's his first delivery.
I think pitch conditions maybe, and maybe this illustrates it best of all. I mean, this was just, I mean, we're going to the Adelaide Oval, folks.
Motty in again. Khawaja playing from the crease, defensively back down the pitch to the bowler.
I completely agree. It's just that Adelaide Oval, this wicket, the drop-in is so different to the old Adelaide Oval wicket. You can't compare the two. They're chalk and cheese.
Khawaja waits and defensive again.
In terms of winning the toss and bowling, it was unheard of back in the day here. You would give the advantage away in the test. But now, on this wicket, you can understand why teams are doing it.
Khawaja 41, turns it on the onside. No addition to the score, can't get a run with that. Fielded at mid-wicket. 3 for 100. Muddy with the ball in hand. Green out for 14 earlier today. One slip in. Kawaja defensive again. So a little bit of a change up in the plan from the West Indies today, with Graves given the ball and Muddy handed the ball now. They've kind of settled in. Kawaja's settled in at least on 41. Was liking what he was seeing from Alzari Joseph, so they made that change up. The West Indies, Kawaja defensive. And that's the issue when it comes to the plans, as it's the end of the over. Heads 20, Kawaja 41, Australia 3 for 100. That score for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Good news in Preston. All lanes reopened on High Street, citybound between Gower Street and Bell Street after an earlier building fire, and delays are now easing off. Elsewhere, the Hume Freeway absolutely crawling outbound through Mickleham, thanks to roadworks either side of Donnybrook Road. CityLink outbound between Footscray Road and Dynon Road will be closed from 11 p.m. Saturday till 7 a.m. Sunday morning for Westgate Tunnel project works. Plan ahead, search Big Build for info. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
In again, head on strike, and he pulls it high, and a mark all the way for 6. Glorious shot from Travis Head, and we've been talking about plans. They've changed up the plan for Travis Head. They know Travis Head's plan. It's to play that kind of cricket, and regardless of what they throw at him, if he's in this kind of form, it might not work.
Well, it's the issue the West Indies have got. They've only got 2 quicks that are bowling with any sort of heat over 140 Ks in Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph, and they peppered him early, which was the right plan. He got through it, and now he's firing some shots back to the medium pace of Graves.
He's on 26, and he drives this. It's along the deck to cover. So they know Head's plan. Head knew the way they were putting men out, what their plan was. And it's just trying to work out whether the plan for Travis Head is just going to be too good for their plan.
Big moment now for Craig Braithwaite, how he's going to handle this, because this could disappear on him. Any thought of getting Australia out on a roundabout and even keel could disappear very, very quickly on him if he's not very careful.
Got that look in his eye. Now Travis Head, he waits. He's playing off the back foot, squeezes it through point for a single. Moves to 27. Kawaja back on strike. He's on 41. 3 for 107.
Yeah, they might have to consider, they've got 2 slips at the moment, and whilst it might seem a little bit negative, given the pace that Graves is bowling at, they should back themselves and the keeper, even though he put one down yesterday, to maybe cover for the first slip and have a 1.5 second slip and use that extra fielder elsewhere, whether it's someone on the leg side so they can tighten up against Travis Head.
Kawaja allows it through to the keeper.
As it just feels that to this sort of pace, 120 odd Ks, if any of these 2 get a nick, it feels like the keeper should be able to get across and cover for first. And then, I mean, these West Indian boys are so athletic in the field. We saw a great save out in the boundary before from Shamar Joseph. Back themselves to cover a bit of ground in slip and use that extra fielder, maybe on the leg side, so you can bowl a tighter line.
Graves in again. Kawaja again allows it through to the keeper. And you can join us on the text as well, 0433 98 11 16, if you'd like to join us. A little bit of social interaction with Simon Kadich, Ian Smith in the house for Tyre Power, hot summer sale. And from Tim, who's joined us, 0433 98 11 16. Have the pitches changed, been a result of the wet, humid, almost tropical summer Australia is experiencing? I'll let you ponder that as Graves is in the meantime, to Kawaja, who again allows it through. What are your thoughts on the pitch, given that the drop-in's been, as you mentioned, a change in the Australian environment in the last couple of decades? End of the over, and that score for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S24 at Telstra and get a bonus grey Galaxy Tab S9 FE. Ends February 6. Eligibility criteria apply, and find out more in store.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SEN.
In Place Living. Design and develop customised specialist disability accommodation, valuing inclusivity, innovation and compassion. Because beautiful homes should support independence and choice for Australians with disability. To learn more, visit inplaceliving.com.au.
Modi with the ball in hand, Head drives it, and we'll pick a single up. So your thoughts on the change of conditions, change in pitch?
Well, I mean, particularly here at Adelaide Oval, since it's been a drop-in, obviously there's been a lot of day-night pink tests, so that had a change. But even now with this day test and the 8 mils of grass on it, it's got a different trajectory, and the ball bounces a lot more over the stumps here than it used to. It used to be a lower, slower wicket as the test would unfold.
Modi to Khawaja. He pulls this. Call it, catch it, but they won't get anywhere near that. That's 4. And a beautiful 4 at that. Usman Khawaja motoring towards a 50. That boundary for Ozito all day, every day.
Yeah, and that's one of Khawaja's strengths. Picks up length. He's looking to play spin off the back foot, and that was just too short. And there's no one out at deep square, so he just helps that around the corner nicely.
Does drive this inside half of the bat, didn't time it, so no addition to his 45. Australia 3 for 112.
But yeah, the thing about the Adelaide Oval wicket was it used to reverse and keep quite low, so there's a lot of bolds, a lot of LBWs.
Khawaja pokes this on the offside. Wait, no run.
Because it would, particularly in the scorching Adelaide heat, it would dry out, there'd be cracks, there'd be little bits of the turf coming out of the wicket, and good rough.
Body to Khawaja again, defensive.
But this now is such an even coverage of grass, and quite thick grass, that it doesn't break up like it used to, and so you don't actually see the turf underneath because it's so heavily thatched.
Final delivery of this Modi over, and Khawaja off the back foot, whips it on the onside for no run. 3-4, 112 at the end of that over for Toyota. Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S24 at Telstra and get a bonus grey Galaxy Tab S9 FE. Ends February 6. Eligibility criteria apply, and find out more in store.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
Hey Dave, ready to get back to work? Well, I'll take that as a no. You should go to Toolkit Depot. It's the ultimate back-to-work tool shop for tradies, and they're open 7 days.
You've made my day, Gaz.
Made your year more like. Toolkit Depot. Everything you need to get back to work.
A few texts coming through. One asking where's Gerard. I think he's heading off to the Super Bowl shortly, so that's one of the reasons Gerard Whateley's not here. Another one here currently sitting in the Riverbank stand, loving the cricket. Keep up the good call. Thanks, Patrick. Great to have you with us here at the venue. Patrick is Graves. Wraps head on the pad. Big appeal for leg before. Was it going down the leg side? They're going to have some thought here as to whether to go upstairs. Travis Head doesn't look too concerned, but you've got to sell it. You don't really want them to go upstairs regardless. And they're not going upstairs.
Well, generally Travis Head stays leg side of the ball, so you'd expect that with Graves coming round the wicket, that ball's probably heading down leg.
Interesting. Now he plays this off the back foot, cuts it through point, gets himself a single. As we had a look at the replay for Titanium Caravans, built tough. By the way, Australia move along to 3 for 313. Heads 29. Khawaja 45. Your thoughts on the replay?
I'm thinking that's a little bit closer than the consideration that was given by the West Indies, to be perfectly honest. Was there any bat involved? I think there was. Was there an inside edge? Straight off the inside edge.
Okay, so that saves any thought that it might have been out. Graves in. Full delivery. Caught. Second slip. Gone. Khawaja's out for 45. This unpredictable test continues to surprise us, and the West Indies continue to stay in the contest. 4 down for 113. Simon Kadich, Ian Smith.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Justin Graves. He was prepared to pitch up to Khawaja. That was a genuine half volley, but because it was wide, Khawaja just reached for it, didn't really get over to the line of the ball, and a good catch taken there at second slip. I figure out who that was. At second, was it Athanase? The youngster diving across almost in front of first. So Khawaja's innings ends on 45. And a very good catch taken by Athanase at second. And Australia now 4 for 113.
Celebrating a wicket for Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives, 4 for 113. West Indies all out 188, and Australia getting a run for their money.
They are getting a run for their money. And here is a key partnership about to unfold here. The Bison, the huge figure of Mitchell Marsh. And we know what kind of mood he's always. And this was good bowling, because this is the kind of thing that Greaves is going to be able to do. He's going to be able to, he's not going to bounce anyone out, but he's just got to be smart. And what you do say about Khawaja is his footwork perhaps going forward, because he likes to hover and play late from around the crease. Sometimes you push him wide and he follows it. He's such a good lever, but when he does go, he's very seldom in the right position to play it. And he looked at the bottom edge of his bat there, but he probably, when he reviews it, he'll look at his footwork as well.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a shot he didn't really think he was going to play, and then it was an afterthought because it just happened, and because of the pace of the bowling, he got lured into playing it because he saw the length, and when you see that full length, your eyes light up as a batsman, and he got lured in. It just looked like it might have caught a little bit of the foot marks. It was that full, because it looked like there was a little bit of a puff. So whether it just got him out of the foot marks. But this is the partnership now for the West Indies, because these two will try and punish anything now with this ball nearly 40 overs old.
Graves into Mitch Marsh, faces his first delivery, allows it through to the keeper. 2 slips, gully, point.
Really good catch from Athanase. I thought a really good catch. He committed himself, questioned the spacing in the slip cordon, how much ground they've been covering. But you've got to remember how young the slip cordon is. I mean, there was 2 debutants at one stage at slips 1 and 2, and Athanase in the middle with, 35 minutes of Test cricket under his belt or something. I mean, it's just amazingly new.
Graves in and played at and missed by Mitch Marsh.
Well, and it was a good example of what I was talking about previously, about them maybe losing one of those slips, particularly for head, to strengthen another part of the field, because I think at that pace, the slips and the keeper are good enough to cover a good couple of metres each, and we saw it from Athanase. It was a very good catch.
So bright sunshine at the moment here at the Adelaide Oval. And the West Indies excited about what might be on offer as Graves sees this one almost sneak through the edge to slip or through bat and then to the stumps as Head tried to drive that unconvincingly. He's on 29, end of a successful over, and the score for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection. Australia 4 for 113.
Mercedes is on now with savings on demonstrators and 3 years complimentary scheduled servicing. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz retailer today. Terms and conditions apply.
The Australian Open, the biggest matches called live right here on SEN.
Don't let your business get caught behind this year. Sign up your next apprentice or trainee with MEGT and get some runs on the board. Call the experts today on 13MEGT or visit MEGT.com.au.
So new batter at the crease, and the ball's been handed back to the wrecker, Shamar Joseph. Heads on strike on 29. Good battle at the moment. Simon Kadich, our expert for in-place living, specialist disability accommodation designed for you. Joseph in, and he squares up Travis Head on 29. No addition to that 4 for 113.
Yeah, it's good captaincy from Craig Brathwaite. He could have waited. He's had Modi in the attack, but now with the new batsman out there, Mitch Marsh, he feels like this is the time, and it's the partnership that the West Indies have to break if they want to keep Australia from posting a big first innings total. This partnership could prove crucial.
2 men out today. Green for 14, Khawaja for 45. Joseph in, and a play and a missed by Head, whose intentions are well known, but he didn't get anywhere near that as he tried to cut it away for 4.
I don't mind that from Shamar Joseph, because he's got the deep backward point, and Head wants to find the boundary through that cover point region, but there was just enough bounce there and he hit under it.
Sweater on. About 23 degrees here in Adelaide, and the local Travis Head waits and just flicks it along the deck. The one bounce and gathered by Gully. Late attempt to flick it away. Very late.
Well, it feels like something's happening here because Travis Head there wasn't set with his footwork. His feet were on the move. He sparted away from his body. And Shamar Joseph feels like he'll be in the game here. A bit of extra zip, that extra pace. He'll be looking to try and see if Travis Head can nick one through or even chop one on from ball that's too close from around the wicket.
He's got 3 wickets, Shamar Joseph, and he bounces at Travis Head, plays it beautifully, gets it to the boundary, through mid-wicket for 4. He wanted that stroke, Shamar Joseph. Had 2 men out for it, but Travis Head was too good.
He was too good there. That was quick hands. He got it up to a pretty decent height. It was played from around sort of shoulder height region, but picked it up early and deposited it through mid-wicket. It was a very good pull shot from Travis Head.
That boundary for Azito all day, every day. Heads on 33, waits, and again a short ball, again it's pulled, and it won't be 4 this time. It didn't quite get onto it, back with a square. It's fielded about 3 or 4 metres in from the boundary, and that will bring Mitch Marsh on strike for the first time. New batter at the crease because Usman Khawaja was out for 45. Ryan Harris is with us. Ryan, welcome back.
Morning. Interesting little period here, isn't it? Lazy shot from Khawaja, Kat?
I think it was probably a shot that he wasn't really looking to play, and then because it was bowled sort of mid-120s, he just got lured into it because it was so full. I thought it was a clever piece of bowling because that's where they need to be attacking Khawaja, particularly the medium pace bowlers, not so much Shamar Joseph and Alzari. They can afford to be straighter, but I think particularly for Graves or Roach, they can afford to be a bit fuller and a bit wider to him and encourage through covers, and they got the reward for it, so good job.
Shamar Joseph to Mitch Marsh for the first time. In, and he drives. Rolls it to mid-off for no addition to the score. He's not off the mark yet, so no first delivery wicket there to Mitch Marsh, but this is just a joy to behold at the moment, seeing this young guy with immense confidence continue to grow before our eyes against some of the best batsmen in the world, and he's been able to beat a few of them, get a few of them out. Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith yesterday, and he comes again to Marsh, who waits and turns it on the onside. He'll get off the mark with a single to square leg. And that is the end of the over. So for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection, Australia 4 for 120.
Whenever we get stuck and need quality timber or decking real quick on site, we turn to the Robot.
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies always helps us get the job done.
You can rely on Robot Building Supplies day in, day out. Right now, 90 by 35 MGP 10 pine is only $4.72 per metre. Discount for quantity. Robot's been in the building game for over 70 years.
They've seen it all and know it all.
Robot Building Supplies, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham.
ROBOT Robot Building Supplies.
First session for MEGT. Test what's possible with an apprentice or trainee from MEGT. Great to have your company wherever you're listening to SEN Test Cricket. Graves is into Marsh, and he's watchful from the crease, pushing back down the pitch. This session, 2 wickets, 61 runs. Australia started the day 2 for 59, now 4 for 120.
Yeah, just wonder whether Graves could straighten up his square leg here and allow his mid-on to come a lot straighter and probably a little bit deeper, and allow himself to be able to attack the stumps here, try and get an LBW.
Marsh on 1 and turns it on the onside, but no chance of a run. Rolls that to shortish mid-wicket.
I think that's his role here, isn't it, Cat? Stump to stump, build some pressure. We know that these two players like to get on with the game. If he can build some pressure and build some dots, probably his job. He's been lucky. He's got the wicket that he probably wasn't expecting of Khawaja. He's done his job here, but if he can build some pressure and make these guys try and hit through the line on what is an up and down sort of wicket.
No gully, 3 slips waiting. Graves in, edged, and 1 bounce to second slip. He gets away with it. Mitch Marsh.
And I like the fact that he's trying to probe on and around that off stump, because every now and then the ball just holds in the surface, and Mitch Marsh wants to feel the ball on bat. He's been in such good form all summer. We know these two have spoken about batting together for a session and seeing what can happen.
Graves to Marsh again, and he takes it off his hip, but not a chance of a run. He pushed it to that shortish mid-wicket again. Heads 34, Marsh on strike on 1. 4 for 120 in bright sunshine. West Indies all out after being set in yesterday for 188. Very valuable 55-run last wicket stand is essentially what they lead by at the moment.
How valuable is that going to be?
Absolutely.
Huge.
Graves to Marsh. Drives and can't get a run for it, even though it was a positive stroke.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they've got mid-off and mid-on. If they can afford to have them a little bit deeper, it's actually an attacking position for Mitch Marsh, because he loves to get on the front foot and drive the ball powerfully. And we saw yesterday a wicket caught at mid-off. Doesn't often, it's not often the case in Test cricket, but I think at Mitch Marsh, you can have those fielders just a little bit deeper and then entice them to say, well, you're going to take a single.
Graves to Marsh, and it's a maiden over. Marsh pushes defensively. Score stays at 4 for 120 for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection.
Mercedes is on now with savings on demonstrators and 3 years complimentary scheduled servicing. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz retailer today. Terms and conditions apply.
The biggest EPL games live every Saturday and Sunday night, live right here on SE. Celebrate the new year with a same-day service offer at Chadstone Toyota. Get a special lube service on SUV and 4x4 vehicles for $299, and for small passenger vehicles, just $249. Visit chadstonetoyota.com.au. T's and C's apply. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Ball back in the hand of Shamar Joseph. Ball into Travis Head. He's pushing from the crease defensively, and there's a battle going on out in the middle at the moment.
Really good battle. And I think, just to go back on your point there, Kat, with the field, I think you're spot on there, because you don't see Mitch Marsh or Travis Head dropping and running very often, do you? They're trying to hit through the field, and that's their game.
Yeah, these two are predominantly looking for boundaries, and the line of that from Shamar Joseph around the wicket is perfect. As Travis Head got LBW in the Pakistan series, I think it was Jamal got him from around the wicket.
Waits, inside edge, and lucky to get away with it as well. They get a single from it, but that was unconvincing. And there hasn't been too many LBW shouts for how's that. Get amongst it with Tinny's Craft Beer, available at Liquorland. Choose to drink wise. There hasn't been a lot sent upstairs. Not a lot of LBW shouts. Head 35, Marsh now on strike on 1.
Yeah, it was the first innings in Sydney. Jamal came around the wicket and pinned Travis Head. You see that he's staying leg side of the ball, but he's still got that ability, particularly when you're using the short ball, to try and unsettle his footwork and drag him across the crease.
Marsh is on 1. He's not set yet. Shamar Joseph into him, and he plays and misses through to the keeper.
He's bowling good balls.
Just nibbled away. He's bowling good length. Nice line. I think Travis Head, just viewing that replay, he's definitely more leg side of the ball, isn't he? That even then, that last shot that got him off the mark was a big inside edge, and a replay from stump cam just showed how big that gap is between back and back. So he's definitely getting his pads out of the way.
Well, he might not get LB, but he could chop one back onto the stumps.
Which he's only done twice or 3 times, doesn't he?
Replays for Titanium Caravans, built tough. Shamar Joseph in again, and Marsh pushes forward watchfully, defensively. Score remains 4 for 121.
And it might be that first innings dismissal at the SCG where he did get LBW, and it was only just clipping leg. Maybe that's the alteration he's made, thinking, I don't want to get LBW here, so I'm going to stay leg side of it. But that can then lead to another technical problem, because you're exposing all 3 stumps. And if you're trying to force the ball through the offside against the line of it coming back in from around the wicket, you can get yourself into trouble.
Especially if it's nibbling around, which it is at the moment.
Crowd edging up toward 20,000 again. Shamar Joseph, and it's edged as well. This time from Marsh off the outside edge, bounced into third slip, and his head rocketed around, almost gave himself whiplash, wondering whether that was going to carry or not. It was never really going to, but it was about half a metre away from doing it.
Wasn't far away. He's on here, Shamar Joseph. He's probing, bowling a beautiful line and length. Just see there, Mitchell Marsh just reaching out to it, wasn't he?
He didn't quite transfer his weight through the ball. He was still...
Final delivery of the over, and Marsh tries to whip it on the onside of his hip. Caught him on the splice, and they race through for a single. End of the over. Australia 4 for 121. In fact, 4 for 122. Marsh on one, head on 35. That's for Toyota Hilux, an unbreakable connection. Adam White next.
A multi-vehicle collision on the Taylor Freeway that's inbound just after Mickleham Road. 2 right-hand lanes closed off. Only the left lane is squeezing through there. Delays pushing back towards the airport. And a crash inside the Domain Tunnel has the left-hand lane blocked off. A very heavy back onto the Monash Freeway to Yarra Boulevard. Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy S24 at Telstra and get a bonus Grey Galaxy Tab S9 FE. Ends February 6. Eligibility criteria apply, and find out more in store. That's the latest traffic on SEN, your home of cricket this summer.
It is tough going here, particularly for Mitch Marsh, one off just 15 balls. So Simon Kadich's only been out there a short time, but that fluency we saw through the Pakistan series hasn't been on show yet, at least.
Yeah, it's been challenging on this surface because there's just enough on offer.
Kemar Roach back into the attack from the river end. He bowls to Marsh, who leaves alone.
And I like the way the West Indies have gone about it. As I said yesterday, you don't often see teams get bowled out for 188 on day one, come out and still have 3 slips in a gully and attack. But credit to Craig Brathwaite and this inexperienced team. They've gone out there and they've stuck to their guns, and they've had good fields. They've bowled to a plan. They went hard at Travis Head early with the short stuff, and now they're attacking Mitch Marsh on a fuller length.
Roach bowls and Marsh defends into the offside.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I was sort of questioning a little bit that the tactic with Travis Head early, but it's obviously been seen over the past couple of series that short ball that can get him out. So they had a crack at it early, had a good crack at it. Zari Joseph has worked into his rhythm and found some good pace and bowled some good bounces at him. He played a couple of nice shots. He played a hook shot for 6, which probably wasn't quite high enough with the ball, but they've had a good crack and bowling to what looks like a good plan.
Roach again bowls to Marsh, edging again on the bounce into second slip. It seems at the moment that Marsh is finding the edge more than the middle, as he sort of prodded forward, and that was a healthy edge on the bounce into the cordon.
Yeah, he hasn't been fully confident yet to really launch into one of his big drives. That one was defended softly into the ground, but
interesting times. Roach again past the umpire to Marsh, who on the walk defends strongly back down the wicket, but he was trying to get to the pitch of the ball on that occasion, Simon and Ryan.
It was one of those drives you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Kmart just saved himself 3 runs.
Well, I think he's realised that he probably has to get further to the ball and take a big stride in. We've seen that during the summer, just shuffling down on that occasion. He feels like he needs to get closer to the pitch of the ball because it's just holding in the surface. A little bit of nibble.
Roach again, wider on the crease, bowls to Marsh, who's back and across, defending into the offside.
And this is probably the one area of Mitch Marsh's game that probably still needs to evolve, is being able to rotate strike. When teams do this to him and they're patient and they deny him the boundaries, that's the one area. It's a little bit of craft and being prepared to just say, no, this is challenging. I've got to get down the other end here, because at the moment he's just building up a lot of pressure on himself.
This is where his mate down the other end's got to work on that as well and try and get down there and rotate that strike.
Last ball of the over. Roach bowls and Marsh steers into the onside, but straight to forward square leg. And another maiden there from Kemar Roach. Australia at the end of the over, 4 for 122 with head on 35, Marsh on 1. That's the Tyre Power scoreboard, your local tyre experts.
For over half a century, there's one name that Aussie gardeners have come to trust. Holman offer a range of quality watering equipment with an affordable price tag. For the past 55 years, this family-owned business has been helping gardeners save time, money and water. And now, with Holman Smart Watering products, you can water from anywhere, anytime, all from your smartphone. So, protect your garden from the heat this summer with the name you trust. Holman, for the smart gardener.
Shamar Joseph on the runway, bowls to Head, who again inside edges it onto his pad, trying to play forcefully through the offside. Both are just struggling at the moment. And it's interesting because we're used to seeing both of them, Simon Kadich, just continually find the middle of the bat and often find the boundary.
Yeah, it just highlights that it's not that easy a surface to play big shots on. So unless it's right in your zone and it's short, wide or really full, there's just enough on offer for the bowlers. But he really wants a piece of Shamar Joseph through the offside here. Who's going to win the battle?
2 slips in a gully. Around the wicket, Joseph bowls. It's a bouncer and it's down leg side. Nearly. In fact, that was quite remarkable. I don't know what De Silva was doing there. He was trying to cleverly flick it back or do something and almost went under the helmet. 5 penalty runs.
I think he just fumbled it, and thankfully the first slip had his eye on De Silva, and it bounced off his glove back towards the helmet.
It was a no ball, so it'll have to be re-bowled anyway. Now, what do you think, Simon, of Ryan Harris in the Ringers Western today? Whether it's the paddock or the pub, Ringers Western has the kit to keep you cool this summer in the powder blue today.
He's looking sharp, isn't he, Rhino?
Shamar Joseph bowls and Travis Head defends.
Another black one off an arm. Give him the black run. I need to change it up.
Really? Sort of, you're almost getting into Bharat Sandaracen sort of territory.
I'm not quite there. A little way to go till I get to that level, but...
That is next level, Bharat.
Oh, today's ensemble is something out of this world.
Isn't it?
So that ball then, Shamar Joseph, was at 141.2, thanks to my internet and mobile with all the stats and all the figures. Joseph bowls here. Head chops this one down on the offside in front of point, but still just a single with the protection out there. Head to 36, 4 for 124. He played that one quite late, almost squeezing it out on the offside.
Yeah, it was a better shot.
The ball.
He just waited a little bit longer, didn't try and overhit it. That's the only danger for these two on this sort of surface, is they get a bit too carried away and wanting to hit the ball hard. It's not going to be as easy a surface to just go out there and pound it everywhere, which is what they've been doing for the bulk of the last 12 months.
Yes.
Smashing it to all parts, both of these two, particularly in white ball cricket.
Shamar Joseph now over the wicket to bowl to Mitch Marsh. Past the umpire. Marsh rides this one, just playing with a vertical bat into backward point off the back foot. There's no run.
Probably that good opportunity, as you just said about Mitch Marsh, to try and rotate strike. Cause a little bit of frustration for the bowler. Right, left hand, sort of combination, and then that will produce, or will the bad balls will come. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
They can rotate that strike.
Shamar Joseph again from the cathedral end to Marsh, who does drive this one, punishing it through the offside for 4. Joseph over pitching and giving Marsh a little bit of width, and Mitch says, thank you, I'll take 4. And that's his first boundary. He moves to 5. Australia 4 for 128. The deficit now just 60.
He's feet at all then, Mitch Marsh, did he? It was almost right, well, was in the wheelhouse. A long half volley with a little bit of width. Exactly what he's waiting for.
5 from 23 balls. Joseph again a bit closer to the umpire. Bowls, and then Marsh nearly chopping onto his stumps, trying to play away on the offside off the back foot. A bottom edge on the bounce into first slip. What's happening? Australia 4 for 128 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Your tyre experts.
Need a hand with your ever-changing business? Chasing down your dream home or support to hit your savings goals? NAB's experts are right there with you. NAB, more than money.
The NFL on SEN. Hear the biggest games live every Monday morning on SEN.
Crispy, juicy chicken, bacon, cheese, tomato, and signature sauce. New McCrispy Bacon Deluxe. Macca's next big bacony thing. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.
The leading run scorer in the Australian innings so far has been Usman Khawaja with 45. For Robot Building Supplies, Robot's got it, but he is out. As Kemar Roach comes around the wicket to bowl to Head, who steers into mid-wicket off the front foot and just take a single to move along to 37 with a score 4 for 129. So Khawaja, the man out. And that was sort of came from nowhere. It gave Graves his first wicket in Test cricket. So we're going to give that the play of the day so far for Drinkwise, getting his first wicket in Test cricket. It was almost the fifth bowler.
Yeah, he was a little lazy from Khawaja.
Roach again bowls to Marsh, edging again, just short of third slip this time. And the slip cordon are getting frustrated. Hands on hips, hands on heads. Jeez, come on, what's going on?
That wasn't far away, that one.
He went hard at that one. It's so surprising it didn't carry.
That's his defence. He doesn't let the ball sort of come. He goes quite hard, and he's got quite hard hands, which is obviously why he hits the ball so well. But in this situation there, when he plays that defence shot.
Roach again bowls to Marsh. Edging, this time he's been caught! It carried this time! Brilliant catch at third slip. Under the helmet, that's how close he was. And they are up and about the West Indies.
What a plan.
Brilliant work.
The man in close with a helmet on the third slip line. Falling short just the ball before. And this one carrying, and unfortunately for Mitch Marsh, that's the end. Not a great innings. There's 4 or 5 edges in that were close to being caught.
Yep. I just mentioned they were getting frustrated. They kept coming closer and closer, which means the ball flies faster and faster, gets to the cordon quicker. But that is a massive blow for the Australians. Just 15 minutes or so until lunch. Marsh out for 5. Roach getting the wicket.
They're just checking this. No, that's out.
No, that clearly carried. They are checking on the replay. So it's a third umpire situation for IMAR Insurance. Tradies Trust IMAR for insurance. Call 13 IMAR. They're having a couple of looks at this, and now they're saying to Mitch Marsh, you can go off. That's out. That's caught.
Fingers are underneath that. That's a good catch.
Oh. And as you said, Ryan Harris, terrific planning from the West Indies to come up with something and to have the presence of mind to put that cordon closer.
I actually didn't even know he was there with the helmet on. From where we are, I didn't notice it.
So Greaves, the man with the catch under the helmet. So he's catching really well. That's the second time he's taken a catch in the cordon, but that time under the helmet. That is a Macca's catch of the summer, without question. Hit hunger for 6 with the Aussie Angus Deluxe at Macca's. And the West Indies have got half the Australian innings back in the pavilion. And Alex Carey and now Travis Head were back together, the two South Australians. But you could not have imagined that Carey would be coming in batting before lunch.
Before lunch. We have to give huge credit here to the West Indies bowling lineup. They've tried, as Simon Kadich said just before leaving commentary, they've tried different things and they've bowled to a really good plan.
Roach around the wicket to Carey, who drives nicely, stylishly up to mid-off to Alzari Joseph.
Nice start.
And there's no run. So again, even for Carey, Graves, he's under the helmet again at third slip. Very close. He is really close.
He's very close.
You would have played a fair bit of cricket at the MCG where they would often, Aaron Finch used to wear the helmet at third slip.
Yep.
It's that sort of
very
situation.
Similar, isn't it? Very similar wicket. We've commented on how many balls have actually gone through and bounced to the keeper.
Roach again around the wicket to Carey, who leaves. So both Carey and Head out there. South Australians both wearing the cable net knit vest. It's a coolish morning here in Adelaide. And it's hot cricket. It's been fantastic cricket. Just to see the West Indies, a young West Indian team, compete with the Australians.
Yeah, it's great. Again, we spoke about the disappointment of their batting yesterday and then the last partnership of 55.
Roach again bowls to Carey, digs out a full ball and gets it down the ground, runs. At least 2, probably 3. Carey herring between the wickets. Oh, nearly 4. Good work there to keep the ball in play, just inside the field of play. And they get 3. So Carey off the mark with that 3. Head 37. Australia at the end of the over, 5 for 132 on the Toyota Hilux scoreboard. An unbreakable connection.
Millions of kilometres covered, thousands of servo coffees, tons of boats towed, plenty of that's not going anywheres, and countless grains of sand. Seriously, where does it keep coming from? A whole lot of work sites, trips with workmates, and getting roped into helping just about everyone move house. 50 years, 8 generations, only one Toyota Hilux. Hilux, an unbreakable connection since 1968. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
So Shamar Joseph will continue from the Cathedral end to bowl to Alex Carey for the first time. Australia 5 for 132. Joseph bowls, Carey defends from the stumps up to mid-on.
Just continue on from comment from before about the way they bowled this morning, the West Indies bowlers. It's been simple. They tried the short stuff earlier. Travis Head bowled some good bounces to him. He got through it. They've gone back to bowling nice hard length on what is a tough wicket, and they've managed to get the reward. It's been quite simple, but effective.
It has. Joseph bowls here to Carey, who again right on line. Carey forced to defend up to mid-off. And that was the intel we were getting out of the camp going into this match, that the West Indies were told, the bowlers, you must bowl full. Don't get sucked into bowling short. You've got to bowl full and give it a chance. And that's certainly been the case. And the king bowler of the match for Jenny King, the king of commercial cleaning, franchise is available. It has to be this man, Shamar Joseph, on debut, 3 wickets. But this is just his 5th first-class match.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Composure he's got.
Crazy. Joseph bowls, Carey defends, this time into the onside to forward square leg. So not only has Shamar, he's the king bowler of the match for Jenny King, he's also the player of the match. He has to be.
Has to be at the moment.
For Bingley, better living every day, thanks to Bingley. So he's got plenty of awards coming his way, Shamar, along with his arm guard that he bought with Barat a couple of days ago.
Well, they have got some local knowledge, though, in their camp. Sean Tate, I believe, is their bowling coach. Which
Joseph again a bit wider on the crease to Carey, who squeezes this one out on the onside. Can't beat forward square leg. Again, a dot ball.
Played a lot of cricket here at the Adelaide Oval. Probably not a lot on the drop-ins. It might have been just before Tatey's time.
Maybe with Barat taking Shamar shopping for an arm guard, you should take him shopping to the Ringers Western store. Whether it's the paddock or the pub. Ringers Western, of course, has the kit to keep you cool this summer. You go do some apparel shopping with him.
These are beautiful shirts.
I know. You're really wearing them.
I'll be wearing them
proudly.
a lot.
Joseph bowls again to Carey. Bat and pad close together, defending up to mid-on.
Comfortable.
Another dot ball.
Cool. Beautiful for... Well, not that it's warm here in Adelaide at the moment.
That is true.
Definitely a favourite of mine in my wardrobe.
It's a good crowd today too, isn't it?
Yep.
It feels very similar to yesterday. They're just at this point. The latest figure we've got is 15,000, but I feel it's a bit more than that.
I think it'll grow a little bit this afternoon.
Yep. And they better come today or tomorrow. It might not be
going
on Saturday or Sunday. Joseph again to Carey, driving nicely through cover point, all along the ground to the rope. That was a good shot from Alex Carey. He's up to 7. Head 37, 5 for 136. That was a high-quality shot.
There must be a no ball here.
I was just about to say that there has to have been a no ball that we've missed. In fact, the scoreboard's missed as well for there to be another delivery.
I think that was the last ball of the over. It was.
There we go, the last one. That's why we didn't actually miss it.
Costly ball, being 4 runs, being 5.
That's a good square drive, isn't it? Looking at that replay, thanks to Titanium Caravans built tough. Shamar Joseph again to Carey on the stumps, and he pushes back to the bowler on the bounce. So that is the end of the over. Australia 5 for 137. Carey 37. Carey 7. Head 37. That's on the Toyota Hilux scoreboard, an unbreakable connection. And don't forget the lunch break, not far away, just over 10 minutes from now for Camplify. It pays to share. We're going through all the highlights and an assessment from our experts as to what has taken place in this first session, which has belonged really to the West Indies, taking 3 Australian top order wickets. Kemar Roach from the river end, around the wicket to bowl ahead, who hasn't faced a lot of balls in the last 10 or 15 minutes. He defends the first one of a new over from Roach up to mid-on.
Yeah, it's just nice bowling from Kemar Roach. Obviously, he's been out to Australia a fair bit. It's his 4th tour. Hasn't had a lot of success out here. I think he averages 90, but he's definitely doing a great role here for his captain. Stump-to-stump bowling, building the pressure. Travis Head just testing a little 9 minutes here before lunch.
Roach again, 3 slips but no gully in place. Head in behind the line of the ball, defending back down the wicket to the bowler.
Impressed with Brathwaite's captaincy this morning.
Yeah.
You heard yesterday at the toss that he wanted to bat. Obviously lost the toss and batted, were put in, but wanted to bat and take control and lead his team. And we're seeing that great job he's doing this morning with the fields that he said. He's been different. He's been expansive. He's tried things, and no doubt that he's on top here at the moment.
Roach again around the wicket, bowls to Head, who again is defending into the offside, getting his foot right across to the pitch of the ball and head over the ball, defending almost textbook-like into the cover region.
The ball isn't bouncing much at all. That's shin high.
Yeah. Roach. This is his 80th Test match, 266 wickets. That puts him
I think it was bat, but umpire Holt's Mike, I heard 2 noises.
Well, we haven't had too many howzats. Get amongst it with Tinny's Craft Beer, available at Liquorland. Choose to drink wise.
Looks like there's no bat involved. Can I have hotspot leg side, please?
Oh, I reckon it's an umpire's call or a miss.
Roll it once again.
Down leg side. I think Travis Head's going to be okay.
Hotspot, can I have RTS to check if there is any bat involved?
Well, maybe I'm being a bit premature. It's not quite as high as I
clear gap as the ball passes the bat satisfied. No bat involved. Ball tracking whenever it is ready, please.
Oh, it's going to be close.
It's a bit closer than I initially thought.
I think that's hit him on middle of the leg.
Pitching outside of impact in line wickets, umpire's call.
Oh, it is.
It is
Umpire